deal, reportedly worth up to $8 million a year. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, San Antonio. Happy friggin' Friday. In the words of the great American poet, Rebecca Black, it's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
I don't know who Rebecca Black is. I don't know.
What?
I don't know her work. I have not read.
Have you never heard the Friday song? It's Friday.
See, I just
gotta get down on Friday.
Oh yeah, okay. No, it just
everybody's looking forward to
directly
the
to
weekend. Me. Oh, what a genius!
I'm sorry, I was stunned.
I mean,
I should have known.
It's between. I guess you guys are different generations. As I say, you're probably the songbird of your generation.
I am indeed.
Rebecca Black, the songbird of her generation. Although she kind of just didn't. She had one other song that didn't really hit for her, but she was like one of the first people to get really big just based on like putting a song up on YouTube.
Oh, like when I think the early stuff, that's her, yeah, and the Meghan Trainor stuff, and then
I think she might predate Meghan Trainor.
Oh, she has to.
And Meghan Trainor actually had like a record deal. I think I don't know Rebecca Black ever did, but this is a great hit. Friday is 2011.
Wow,
look at that. I mean, we're coming up on the 15-year anniversary of this brilliant piece of work. But it does every Friday. My show in Houston. This is how we would start the show
when we could use live music.
Yeah,
back in those days when radio could use music.
One day we'll figure it out.
Wow, one day we'll actually be able to utilize the very reason for our existence.
Yeah, I mean, this is radio.
But who am I to judge? Who am I to judge? I didn't mean to derail you on what is indeed a Friday,
yeah, baby,
or a Tuesday.
And good morning, Miss Becky.
Yes,
as the first person to say good morning to us. It feels good. It feels good to be here, friends.
And you're missed when we don't see it.
I got some stuff done yesterday, Rob. You'd be surprised.
Nothing like being self-actualized and using tools to complete a project to make you feel on top of it.
I know how I got stuff done because when I got home yesterday, I took a 4-hour and 15-minute nap.
Well, it was rainy and dark, dude. Wow.
Oh no! There goes Rob.
He collapsed.
Yeah,
what
gone.
Happened?
I got home. I normally set an alarm and say, okay, I'm not going to let myself sleep for like more than, I don't know, 2 hours or so. But yesterday I did not set an alarm and I ended up sleeping for over 4 hours, which made it very difficult to go to sleep last night, which isn't great when you got to wake up at, 3:30, 3:40 in the morning. But I did get, I got a piece of furniture that I put together to go by my door. Where I got a bowl where I'm putting my keys.
Is this IKEA stuff that you got? All right.
IKEA.
Did you get the Flurgan?
I don't know what it's called, but it's something that sounds kind of like that.
The Flofnoid?
It's yes, one of those.
The good one then.
And I mean, listen,
don't skimp on yourself.
There's nothing like a $100 piece of furniture from IKEA to really class up your joint. And I swear, I'm like, my wife would be ashamed of me right now because my apartment looks like a dorm room.
Well,
I have a painting of Leon Russell hanging up in my apartment right now. It's the only thing on my walls.
Leon Russell.
And the only reason I have it, my dad was a huge Leon Russell fan.
Who isn't? Maybe that's a good thing to have.
He bought this painting, like someone had painted it, and he was at a show and he was like, I'm going to take this. I'm going to get this.
I love it.
And so when he passed, I was like, well,
you gotta have it.
I've got nothing in my apartment except that. And now I've got IKEA furniture. It's like it's none of my like dishes, nothing matches. It's like I anything that I have for I have 2 types of drinking options.
Okay, so you haven't been enough Spurs games to have the stacked plastic cups
I
yet,
have
but we'll
no
get that
plastic
fixed.
cups in my house.
We'll get that fixed in the fall.
I have like pint glasses or like I have basically glassware that I got from breweries,
Well, yeah.
and I have shaker bottles for like protein shakes. That's my only options. So
Yeah, you have at least 3 bowls because you've had 3 people living there. I know that you have 3 of everything, I would assume.
I had to buy bowls because the bowls that got sent with me were like very small. Like I mean, I don't know
Not
what the hell you're
suitable for
supposed
a
to do with
grown-ass
those.
man.
Yeah, like I bought some on Amazon. I bought some big plastic cereal bowls, and that's
Well, see
what
that's the next thing. If you truly wanted to have decor.
I don't.
See,
I don't really
you
care.
could get on Amazon and tomorrow it would be crappy stuff, but you could put some stuff on the walls to make it feel lived in.
Now, my wife has said, like, whatever we get while I'm here, she's like, I mean, our son's about to likely be off at college. He's still, I say likely because I don't know what his plans are. He's like torn between playing baseball and just starting to make money. So whatever
that's
he
going
decides
to change
do,
a lot between now
I'm
and then.
sure.
So
yeah,
that don't bank on anything he's saying now. So
but so she's like, yeah, whatever you get, we'll move it on to Jake when it's his time.
you know what? That's appropriate. Absolutely. Yeah. So live it like it's a dorm room.
Yeah.
You can find some Farrah Fawcett posters. Maybe she would appreciate.
Yeah. She'll enjoy it.
Is that still a thing?
Farrah Fawcett.
Can you go buy is there a store I could go buy
I'm sure
poster of a
Spencer's or Hot Topic you could go to?
So is Spencer's still a thing? I know Hot Topic is.
I don't know if Spencer's is still a thing. I might be wrong. I know Hot Topic is, yeah, but I would assume.
I haven't decorated a dorm in a minute or 2.
Where do you get your lava lamps if you can't go to Spencer's?
I tell you, and the sad thing is the centerfold is no longer a thing.
No, it's not.
Which was back in the day perfect dorm.
But like when I was in high school, I had posters of my high school era I had posters of Pamela Anderson and Jenny McCarthy on my wall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who this era's that is.
I think it's like Dua Lipa.
Okay.
I think that what's one of the Kardashians or all of them? I don't know.
Okay. But I mean, I feel like those Kardashian girls are like a bit old for my son, right?
The supermodel one, though. The young ones, the ones that aren't really Kardashian, but kind of.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, Jenners,
Jenners,
not Caitlyn's kids,
but all in there, whatever.
Yeah. Half Caitlyn's kids, I suppose.
I think those would be on posters.
Okay.
But see, we use those posters. Those matter to us.
They did. But I also got curtains hung.
Well, see that for a lot of reasons, both your neighbors and for you. We're all happy.
Well, I was on the 3rd floor. I'm on the 3rd floor, so no one can see into my window. But yeah, I mean, I guess somebody on the other 3rd floor could see. But I mean, there's not much happening.
So
in my
are they
apartment.
Blackout curtains?
They are. They've got one job. They're not for looks. It's only to just to let me sleep better. So I slept good last night. The problem was going to sleep late and sleeping in a dark room. It's much harder to wake up and get moving.
Yeah, dude.
When you're in the dark room.
And there's nothing better than one of those deep, hard naps.
Oh,
when you wake up and like, what day is it? Kind of nap. And you feel good when you wake up, but then you realize, oh no, I'm supposed to go back to bed here in about 4 hours.
I know.
And I won't be able to do that.
So I watched Oppenheimer.
You had a good day yesterday.
I did have a good day.
You got a 4.5 hour nap and got Oppenheimer. That's about 7 hours of actual good activity.
Well, for someone who's whose job is in sports, I should probably be more up to date because
there's not a lot to keep up with. Let's not lie to ourselves.
Well,
this is not a full menu kind of time of the year.
You're right. And that's where it really kicked me in the balls yesterday because I sat down at my TV. I made some dinner. I was fully prepared to watch Game 6 of the hockey.
Nope.
And it's today instead of yesterday. I was like, what? Where? No. What? I kept clicking on the game on ESPN Plus. It's like, why isn't this starting up?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like upcoming. And I'm like, yeah, it's upcoming. But then it's like, oh, it's tomorrow. I just wasn't paying attention to the date.
That had been on my mind as well.
That was disappointing.
It was well, actually, it got me in good with the wife, so it turned out pretty well.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
good
So
for you.
the expectation was I was going to be watching that, and end up watching whatever she wanted to watch.
And Rob was rewarded with relations.
Well, I would like to. I'm just saying, if a husband does his duties, sometimes you get a little present.
Yeah.
Little gold star.
I got no gold stars for me, unfortunately. And I put together furniture yesterday. I hung curtains. You'd think.
You're a good husband, man. You use your tools.
Yeah. Well, I used Vic's tools.
Well, no, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I didn't have a drill here, so I borrowed a drill from Vic.
And respect to Vic. His tool bag is clean.
Oh yes.
You didn't have to. It looked like
I don't think he's used these tools. Like
No, I've used them.
Okay, what'd you use it for? What'd you use that drill for?
Let's see. We hung up curtains as well.
Okay.
My son used it to take off the lug nuts off his car.
Oh wow. Okay. That's a powerful drill.
Sure is,
well,
man.
I have that's a drill, and I have an impact drill, and that's what we use that for.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah,
I was just.
They're fairly new, but yeah.
By the ones I was going to bring you don't look.
They don't look that. They're not in that good shape.
They wouldn't nearly.
Have they been kept in your barn?
Yes.
So they've got like
pickups and in the dirt and everywhere.
Bat droppings, and
he's got a barn.
Lord knows what else.
It's more of a lean-to. More of a shack. Barn is a broad and kind term for what I got up back down the hill.
But so now I'm sleep deprived a bit.
Yeah, but you're headed into the weekend.
It's Friday.
But today felt like kind of Tuesday, so you feel the way you probably would on most Tuesdays.
I also got some exercise in yesterday, which I haven't been able to do a lot of, but I got down to my apartment's gym, got in a good workout.
And what does a typical AJ Hoffman workout entail?
I rode 2 miles on the bike.
Oh, respect. All right.
And then I ran 2 miles on the treadmill.
Oh, so you have a treadmill in there too.
And then I did leg day. I did some lifting with my lower stems.
So how long?
We're there for like an hour and a half, probably.
Sore yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good. All right.
But my youngest son, who's still with me until Wednesday, he was like, "Your apartment has a gym, right? We haven't been." And I was like, "You're right, we haven't been. I need to go whip my ass into shape."
Yeah,
but all that stuff, I think that may have kept me awake. Like, no, when you're used to working out like will let you sleep better.
Yeah, the endorphins.
But when you haven't worked out in a while and you do, it's like it's very hard for your body to say like, okay, I'm ready to chill now.
Yeah, that endorphin buzz is the same thing that keeps you up, that puts you to sleep as you get used to it.
It's too much. And I didn't take any pre-workout, which I normally would do. But I was like, I took too long of a nap. If I do this, there's no way I'll sleep. And then it didn't matter. I didn't sleep anyway.
Pre-workout. See, for the longest time, I thought when my kids were like pre-workout, I thought you were like legitimately like putting in things. You mean caffeine?
I mean, there is some caffeine, but there's
some.
Yeah.
I looked at the stuff they were taking. It's mostly caffeine. Pre-workout.
It's how you get that pump.
Well, yeah. That's so.
Have you ever heard what Arnold says about the pump?
The pump.
You know what he compares it to?
What?
I won't use the word, but it rhymes with bumming. It's like bumming every time you get the pump. It's better than
that was horrifying.
He says it's better.
I don't
want
to ever hear Arnold say that out loud.
Oh, he says it. Look up Arnold and what he compares the pump to during the break.
Pump?
The pump.
Maybe he's either doing one way too well and the other not good enough. I can't quite figure out why that would be.
Every time I go to the gym, it's like I'm bumming. It's he
well,
loves
you're
it.
not doing something right on one side of the fence or the other. Something is not working out for you if that's what weightlifting is doing for you.
I still prefer bumming to
there's
the
another
pump.
way I'd prefer getting there, and if it involves 800 pounds of weight, I don't think you're doing it right, you're doing it remarkably well.
But I do like the pump either way. So but I didn't without pre-workout. It's much harder to achieve. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about the big news of the day. The big news, the Lakers have hired their head coach. LeBron had nothing to do with this, by the way.
Nothing.
We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star. The John Clay Wolf Show.
Show. Here's what's going on in the wolf pack.
I'm riding my motorcycle and I come across an animal in the woods and my heart skipped a beat. I was like, what in the hell am I looking at? Is it Bigfoot? And it was a llama.
What?
There's this llama in the middle of the woods. Scared the hell out of
You know
me.
why you saw that?
Why?
Because it was white people doing white people things.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The Ace Superhero Comic Con presented by Thomas J. Henry is coming June 20th through the 23rd. Meet Star Trek's Chris Pine, Spider-Man Far From Home star Jake Gyllenhaal, Pirates of the Caribbean's Orlando Bloom, Star Wars Diego Luna, She-Hulk's Tatiana Maslany, and the Marvels Aman Vellani. Plus, the Supermen, Ghostbusters Ernie Hudson, and Arrow's Stephen Amell and David Ramsey. Get your event passes now at pmxevents.com. That's pmxevents.com.
Mark your calendars. Live horse racing is back in season at Retama Park. Gates open at 5:30 Thursday. Get your tickets online at retamapark.com. Retama Park, where the excitement begins. See you at the races.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-5407. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-5407. That's 800-575-5407. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Ah, the sweet feelings of summer. The kiss of warm sun on your skin. The softly scented breeze blowing through the trees. Don't worry, you have Off Clean Feel, fragrance-free mosquito repellent that feels good on skin, so even mosquitoes can't ruin those sweet feelings of summer. Off Clean Feel. Prevention is the best protection from mosquitoes.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Ready for the ultimate outdoor adventure? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star has your chance to win a getaway to Telluride, Colorado. Your prize package includes airfare and luxurious hotel accommodations for two, plus thrilling expeditions like fly fishing, kayaking, ATV rides, and more. And it could be all yours. Enter once per day at sasportstar.com. You must be 18 or older to play. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. One winner will be chosen. Complete rules at sasportstar.com. Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime. Enter now at sasportstar.com. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Good morning, everybody. Morning Huddle 94.1, San Antonio Sports Star, AJ and Rob. On a Friday.
Fat Friday.
Breakfast Taco Friday.
We had our weekly carne guisada tacos. We ate Cazadores.
Cazadores.
Outstanding tortillas.
The tortilla was A+.
Yeah,
it was
crispy yet
very.
soft. Well
I shouldn't say A+. It
was good.
was an
nice.
A.
Yeah.
It was an A. I got to reserve my
Very
A
fresh.
pluses.
Yeah, you got to reserve. But that was a
It was
solid tortilla.
A very good tortilla.
Kind of needs some more time.
It needed. It's funny because you could take when you got a piece with a lot of sauce, you could get the flavor is good. You can tell though when you get into the meat, the sauce isn't fully penetrated into the meat.
I think in about 2 hours.
Yeah, about another hour, 2 hours of just
That's going to be some good
soaking.
carne guisada.
nice.
Yeah, and maybe we just got here too early.
Well, it is.
We normally wait until like 8 o'clock to go get breakfast.
Yeah. I always like to go early because the tortillas
fresh
are real
tortilla.
fresh.
You could tell.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I guess it's
Yeah.
it's give and take. It's push and pull.
Yeah.
You know, what are you going to do?
If we go at 7:30. I don't know.
I mean, the tortilla might have been a little dry. I don't know if we'd gone at 7:30. But it was. Listen, it was better than what we had last week.
It was.
Yes.
But Benny's is still the king so far.
Still number one.
They remain on top of the Morning Huddle power rankings. And listen, it might be hard to knock them off.
It's so far, and considering we're rather limited in our locale, they might stay at number one. And if you are a listener and know of a restaurant in the northeastern quadrant, of San Antonio,
Not too far.
you can play with it on the Brigade Bar. Let us know. We're at Eisenhower and 35.
Yeah,
an idea.
Like that kind of between like I mean, we got a little bit of room to work
Yeah,
around.
we got
here.
all of
like
Austin
if there was
Highway.
a place on 410, around between 410 and 281, or between 281 and 35 on 410, we could get to
anything within about 15 minutes. Now we got a long way to go, but
we got more. We got more.
We know the RMRs are in those little hidden locales. You know what I mean? I've been there for a minute.
But we'll continue this trend. We'll continue this tradition that we've begun, just as we try to and get a taste of San Antonio.
That's that and a nice warm taco on Fridays is worth getting up in the morning, even though it feels like Tuesday.
Regina Jill says Cazadores has good margaritas.
Oh, you know what?
Micheladas.
We
not
were laughing
margaritas.
about would the bar be open with
Micheladas. I don't like micheladas. Is that that's a big thing here? I bet.
Depending on the michelada, are you talking about? If you're just talking about the ones that you get in a can with the clamato in there, no.
I'm talking about like you order one at the bar.
I like a well-made michelada.
Do you?
Oh man, on a hot day, I can drink a fair amount of those things.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Yeah, baby,
not for me. I guess maybe I'm a little bit basic when.
Well, you're a beer lover, and that's adulterating. What about a shandy? You down with a lemonade and beer?
Not my thing.
I can drink it. I can drink it. I'm not surprised you would.
Yeah, I like the way beer tastes. I think I'm in the minority of people who like.
Well, if you like IPA, then you don't like the way beer tastes because that tastes like dirt. IPA is a terrible tasting beer.
There's lots of different beers,
but it's the brewing method of an IPA. The way that the alcohol content is such that it sizzles off the tongue. I don't like it.
You don't like that hop flavor.
No. And no matter what you do, no matter
forward.
how you brew an IPA, the hop just
That's
is
not
overwhelming.
True. That's not true. There's hazy IPAs that the hop flavor takes a back seat.
Then why would you call it
because
an IPA?
Because it's brewed the same way. They just the way that they just do a certain step of the brewing longer.
I think you're trying to prove a point to a non-IPA lover, because every time I bring it up, people go, "Well, you're not having the right ones." I've had a lot of IPAs in my day.
I'm not saying you're not. I don't know your palate. You may
I just don't like it, and
that's okay.
But it's that hoppiness, and I don't see how you can hide it. I really don't. You can tell me you're trying to.
One day I'm going to bring you a can that I'm going to ask you to go sample it. And
just give me a good lager, because there's lager than the other beer. Give me a lager beer, or a Pilsner.
It's lager Pilsner season. It's summertime. That's good drinking. JJ Redick.
He can buy a few beers.
He can buy some beers now. The new head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, 4-year deal. Did not get quite the same offer. It was the 6-year, $70 million offer.
Not quite
for Dan Hurley, but a 4-year deal for JJ Redick. This is a risk, obviously, because this guy's he's never been an assistant coach. He's never been a head coach. I mean, this is a guy who just doesn't have really any experience, although there's a list of Jason Kidd was just in the NBA Finals, and he had no experience as a head coach before he got the job. So it's not unprecedented. Doc Rivers has an NBA title, and he didn't.
This means nothing, really.
Yeah. It's all about Rob Pelinka basically said that he thinks that if you surround, and I think this is the key, surrounding guys with the right people.
Yes, they're going to bring in some very extensive coaches that have been head coaches before. There's a process in place, and the head coach of an NBA team, it's not like being a college coach. You're not responsible for teaching.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll have your assistants to do that. You're a bit like a college coach in recruiting. Free agent's going to want to play for JJ. I think this is not a problem. He's just young, and he's going to have to learn to be a head coach. And that every new coach, whether you're coming from college, the NBA is different. He's going to make some mistakes, but I think he's going to be very successful. Well, we'll talk about it. I think he's really good. I think it's a good hire.
I'm interested to see how it works.
Reminds me of a young Pat Riley.
Oh,
think of the arrogance.
Woo.
I mean, he
good hair.
There's something, and coming from TV, no experience before. There's something, and I know the Buss family's feeling the same way.
Was young Pat Riley handsome? Because in the Lakers the HBO show, he wasn't handsome.
Well,
at all.
It's Adrian Brody.
Yeah, he's ugly.
Adrian Brody. I mean,
yeah, but is that how he really looked, or was he more handsome than what he was portrayed?
In that series, it's almost farcical the way everybody looked.
Okay,
I mean, the bad wigs and I think they took it to an extreme. I don't remember Riley being an ugly dude, but I remember him always being well dressed.
Because he's a decent looking older gentleman.
But got to remember when Riles came out of Kentucky, just like JJ, Riles was not the same player that JJ was in college, but he did play NBA ball. He was an arrogant, hard-nosed defender. JJ was the other side of that coin, an arrogant, hard-nosed shooter. But they both have this arrogance of firm belief in who they are and what they do. And you can't question JJ's. He knows who he is and what he does. He always has been that way. His understanding of the game, he learned at the feet of Coach K. He has played with Doc Rivers. He's played for and around the best. I think he's going to be a very good basketball coach.
Now, you separated when he played for Doc Rivers and when he played for the best, right?
Well, Doc Rivers in his day, let's not discount what this dude has done. He's a very good head coach. Now, his time might have passed, but I'm not going to take anything away from a dude that's got a ring on his finger.
All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about the NFL tweaking some rules for the postseason, and taking a page out of hockey's book that is going to piss some people off. I can tell you that. It's Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, I don't know what you're planning on doing this weekend over the grill, but it's time to consider Tri-County Meat Market specials. When meat meets heat, you need to have the finest meat you can get. And Tri-County believes It's on their door. A great meal starts with great meat coming from Tri-County. You know, they start at prime. They go up to Akaushi. They got the Wagyu. They've got everything you're chasing. You're looking for big steaks, little steaks, strip steaks. You've got them. They'll cut them for you if they don't have it. You're looking for a big old roast. They'll tie it for you. Hey, if you're going to buy your ribs, this is one of the best things about going to Tri-County. And it's a little thing, but it matters to me. They will pull the membrane off the back of your ribs. It doesn't mean much. Everybody can do it, but when you can start working your rib and you don't have to do that, that matters, and Tri-County will do it. Just one of those little things of why you go to a Tri-County meat market. Specials every week. The 5 for $25, I tell you this every time. It is worth the trip. Just go fill a bag. There's 5 items. You pick what items you want. $25. I promise you there's 2 meals in there. That goes along with the weekly specials. You're looking for something unique. Somebody asked me the other day, can I get a pig from them? Yes, they will come get you a pig. They got goats as well. If you're looking for unique meat, they'll do it. Looking for something out of Louisiana, something curated, they got it too. That's why you go to either one of their locations. It's over on Huebner, out on Ralph Fair. Both of them stacked full waiting on you. That's Tri-County Meat Market. A great meal starts with great meat. Go some of that meat, put it on the grill. I know you're going to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, how about those Aggies? They're going to play for a national title in baseball. That's right, and the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, is going to join us here on The Blitz at 3:30. Plus, John Machota with The Athletic. He covers the Cowboys. We'll talk a little Cowboys football as well. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Pork rinds pack a protein punch and are the boldest low-carb snacks out there. Skip the chip and try Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds for that ultimate crunch. And with flavors that will have you craving for more, the time to stock up on Southern Recipe at H-E-B is now. Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Do summer projects your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. With free delivery on over 2 million items, you can make the most of summer grilling and dig into gardening. Plus, get same-day delivery on thousands of products like power tools and storage to tackle any last-minute garage project. Summer your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Corey area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at TSAOG.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Jason Minix, and you're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. After our show ends,
the Greenie shows up for work.
Well, we'll see. And then the Joe Reinigal show is at 2 o'clock.
Dose.
That's right. And he'll go till 6.
Yeah, Antonio Daniels on with him yesterday.
Yeah, he'll have Andrew Monaco on today.
The voice of the Aggies.
How did he get him on? How did he get him on that show instead of our show?
We could have him.
I mean, but now it's too late.
Yeah, but we might have him on Monday to celebrate. That was my intent.
Let's do this. If there's a game 3 on Monday,
we'll have him.
I think we should have him.
We'll have him.
And then, that way Joe will have had him before, but we'll have him before the big game.
Yeah.
No need to have him if you're celebrating.
Well,
I don't want you guys to be like, rubbing rings together or whatever. I don't know what kind of
weird
Aggie stuff you guys are going to do.
We do rub our rings together in private.
I like, do you have one of those the cheerleader costumes?
Do I? Like
Yeah.
you mean the milkman?
Yeah.
Well, how do you think I got my wife?
I mean,
that's one of the games we play. I'm the yell leader.
I wish she
has to follow my hand signal.
Has anyone in your family ever done that?
No.
Oh man.
I have a very good friend who was.
Oh really?
Yeah. Fitz.
What an odd choice, isn't it?
Oh no, dude. You see, you mock what you don't understand.
I'm not mocking. I just feel like from an outsider, it does feel
it's a weird
odd.
thing. It is. It is a very unique thing that's caught in time. But on campus, a yell leader, those are some bad dudes, man.
Really? They're highly respected.
Much respect, yes. And they're traditionally core types, so they're protecting and serving as well. So they're not only wearing.
So they are always core,
because it's an elected thing. You vote for the yell leaders, and the core is an organized block of votes, shall we say?
Okay.
On the A&M campus, so the core reps normally become yell leaders. Now I have heard tell maybe one or two weren't, but for the most part, these are all core dudes.
Okay.
So they're Army types.
Any of your family do the core thing when they were there?
No.
You guys were just liberal Aggies.
No, they're all we're all military types.
Okay.
The liberal Aggie is a yeah.
I mean, it's
I'm a
obviously
South Texas Democrat, but a lot of places that makes me real close to a fascist. You know
right.
what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. If there's a game 3, I think we should have Monaco.
Yeah. Besides, you need to meet him. He's a good dude.
The NFL informed the NFLPA that there's a new rule in town, and it is teams will have a maximum of 8 injured reserve designations during the regular season, which is the same as it has been. But you get 2 additional designations in the postseason, which means if a team has not used up its 8 designations in the regular season, it can carry them into the postseason for a total of 10. And players can return from the injured reserve list a total of 2 times, including the postseason. Now, this became a big drama show in hockey last year because Vegas had guys on the injured reserve, and these 2 guys happened to get healthy right when the postseason started. So, and it wasn't breaking the rules. Vegas was the first team to
they
take advantage of the rule.
So basically, they allowed to fill a roster spot and let other guys get some minutes, reps, and all that. And then once it mattered,
bring back your big guns is basically what it is.
You know what? I don't have a problem with it because there's some issues with that. I mean, you're hoping everything's going to be fine from dudes that haven't played in a minute. For me, anytime I get more football with more guys available to play it, it's a good thing. So this is a good thing. If you're going to say that the guys that I want to watch are now going to be more able to play in the games that I most want to watch, I'm in.
Of course.
Well, I don't know why we weren't doing this before.
I don't either. But like I said, the first team to take advantage of this, people are going to be pissed off about it.
The first guy that Euro stepped, that took the Euro.
It's like, you're not allowed to do that. And then they're going to look at the rules and go, oh, they are allowed to do that?
This is pretty
cool. Still shady. Still kind of shady. I don't like until your team does it, and then you're going to be okay with it. But yeah, this is it's certainly a change. Detroit apparently was the team really pushing this thing. The Lions wanted you to have unlimited IR returns in the postseason.
Again, I don't understand why we would want to limit ourselves. Like, I'm for you should be able to have 4 quarterbacks on your team. There should be allowances to ensure that no matter what happens, you put the very best product possible on the field, because this is only 51% an athletic thing and it's 49% entertainment. And I'm more entertained the more often I get to see the most healthy and bestest players. And if you can do everything you can to do that, you should be unlimited. I mean, why would I want to sacrifice playoff entertainment and enjoyment for a stupid rule? The guy can come back and can play, but the rule says he can't.
Detroit's a driver behind these rule changes. They also proposed allowing teams to place 2 players on IR the day of roster cut downs to 53. So, because previously you had to spend 1 day on the 53-man roster, then get put on IR, and then go back and sign guys that you'd already cut, which seems like a waste of time. And the NFL said, okay, let's do that. So now you're going to be able to start the season with 2 guys on IR. You're still going to be able to have a 53-man roster, even with those 2 guys on the IR.
Now, if you are a player, this does limit some mobility.
Sure.
So it does limit you in that a team that might have ordinarily cut you so you could go get another job can now hold on to you on the IR. So there's some things that do limit you as a player, but I think all in all, I imagine both sides of this were happy to get this through.
Yeah, I think this is generally good news. Yeah. Like I said, I generally think, and we're going to talk about the proposed rule changes in college basketball, or not a rule change necessarily, but a format change to college basketball later in the show. That
you're crazy. You're an old dude sitting on a pad. It's better in my day when you earned it.
I really am. I am one of those guys.
More is better, AJ.
No,
more is
really
better.
Not.
And if a little is good, a whole lot is really good.
When we come back, how big of a deal is it when, because this is a theme park town. Like, there's SeaWorld here, Fiesta Texas is here. There's one on what's the small one? It's like off of is it on Wurzbach? On Wurzbach Parkway? Is there a small, like sort of a mom and pop place?
Like a batting cages kind of thing?
I don't know. It looks like it's got some rides or something there.
I don't think. Well, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe you're talking about Morgan's Wonderland.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Morgan's is a unique place in the world. It's a amusement park for handicapped kids.
Oh, so I can't go. It's only
you're
for
more than welcome to go. It's really cool. It's interactive, but it's available to kids in wheelchairs and on all the things. It's a unique thing in the world. Awesome.
Okay,
we're very proud of it.
It's a theme park town.
Yes, we are.
When someone dies at one of these things, is it a big deal?
Oh, we don't talk about that stuff.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about a theme park death on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star. If you travel as much as the San Antonio sports guys travel, while you're on the road, be sure to take us along. Listen to the 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star live stream anywhere on the Odyssey radio app.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasic.com.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-230-2777. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-230-2777, 800-230-2777, or biglou.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
All guests appearing on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star appear on the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hurling up, 94.1. 38-year-old man taken to the hospital. Critically injured means, I guess that doesn't mean he died, right?
I think that means there's a possibility of whatever happens.
He's likely to die?
No, it just could kill him.
Okay. What do they say? I guess mortally injured would
mortally is you're going to die.
It's
a mortal wound means whatever that is. It might not kill you immediately, but it's going to kill you.
Kings Island is the big.
Ever been to Kings Island?
I've never been. No, you have?
Years ago.
Okay,
it's old school. It's like Six Flags in Dallas, one of the OG places.
Yeah, it's in Mason, Ohio,
Mid America.
And apparently it's one of the world's.
They
best.
always had the best roller coasters every other year or whatever. Yeah.
Well, there's a roller coaster there called the Banshee, and I think it's one of those roller coasters that does that goes upside down a bunch of times, and I think it's kind of like, it's not quite like the Superman one here, but it's one of those ones it hangs under the track.
Where you look up. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, so like I think you're sitting, but you're hanging underneath where the track is. But this ride it does multiple flips, and this guy tried to get back on the ride because His keys fell out.
So he rode, he was upside down, and his keys fell out.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like, oh.
So he was going to get back on the ride to spot him?
No. He said, I need to get in. I need to like hold up the ride. I need to get down there and get my keys.
Oh, okay. So it was down along the rail, the tracks.
And he told the greeter, like the guy who was like, I guess is that what they call him? The person who puts you on the ride and like
that sounds right.
checks your harness. He said, hey, I need to get down there so I can find my keys. And the guy told him, hey, there's nothing you can do until the park closes, until we shut down the ride. Once the ride's shut down, then, if you want to stay after, you're welcome to. Well, the guy apparently went and bought a Kings Island shirt that made him look like
an employee.
Made him look like an employee.
All right.
And went through a restricted gate to try and find his lost keys. Well, that's when the person in the front row of the Banshee said,
oh, no.
It sounded like we hit a deer.
Oh, no.
It was not a deer. Man, it was this dude who, and now they're like, the Ohio Department of Agriculture's Division of Amusement Rides, Safety and Fairs. Seems like a weird department to be under. Like, why is the theme park in the Department of Agriculture? But whatever. Ride inspectors had to come to examine the ride and conduct a full reinspection and investigate to ensure the ride was operating with Ohio's laws and rules. Like, to me, this isn't a theme park problem. This is that guy's problem.
Well, you shouldn't have an available for anybody who just buys a T-shirt and can sneak in someplace. I mean, they're not culpable in that it's not their fault that this dude walked in there, but the fact that there's a way that he could have.
Well,
I have some concern
he jumped
about.
a gate. He passed up multiple signs that said restricted area.
Still,
and he got into the area below the. I mean, there's got to be a certain level of awareness that you've got to know if you get into that area. I mean, it's a big balls play trying to find your keys. I get it. I mean, hell, you might need to.
The way I look at it is this guy wanted to, and he found a way in. What happens if there's like a 7-year-old that is just wandering around? I mean, there's a way in. There shouldn't even be how can anybody wander themselves into a track on a roller coaster? I mean, it should be impossible. I mean, there shouldn't be any way to get there. And that guy did. Now, you jump a fence, you climb some barbed wire, I get it. But this dude evidently went through some doors that shouldn't have been able to.
Yeah. Boy, that's tough, man.
I
mean, especially because like
the flock. But
they told him. They told him, man, you can't do this.
But I can see why they wouldn't checked out. Probably no problems, though. Every amusement park, people die.
There's inherent risk.
Yeah, there's an inherent risk. And you can't waver yourself out of that risk, though. I mean, just because it's a risky endeavor doesn't mean that every possible risk that the roller coaster company shouldn't at least bear a fair amount of responsibility to ensure that they've done everything possible, even though we know it's risky. They can't say, well, it's risky. Yeah, sometimes seatbelts come loose. It's risky.
The Banshee itself, it opened in April of 2014.
Oh, it's a long-term one.
It's 4,124 feet long, 7 inversions. It's the world's longest steel inverted roller coaster.
Every roller coaster is the world's something.
You have, if you're going to build a roller coaster, you have to do that.
Yeah, it's the fastest, it's the longest, it's the quickest, it's the upside downest.
It's 3 minutes long. It gets up to 68 miles an hour.
That's cool.
There is a 150-foot curved first drop. There's a zero gravity roll, a vertical loop.
So,
pair of bat wing inversions.
You ever had done a bat wing inversion?
Is that like when you spread out your satchel?
Yeah, you spread it out and press the.
That's why you don't want to get a satchel lift.
That's exactly right. You lose.
Yeah, these guys who are getting these
literally there's some flapping going on.
These guys getting scrotum lifts.
There's some dudes that could jump off a building.
I can't wait to be
is that a paraglide? Nope.
I want to be like Johnny Knoxville and like with in Jackass 2, where he's got the he dresses like the old man and they're like hanging out of his shorts. That's what I want to be when I'm an old man.
Take flight.
I want my bat wing to literally be like my arm, like whatever my reach is, like the way they measure your reach, where you stick your arms out to both sides. That's what I want it to be.
That's a whole other Batman. That's a whole other comic book series.
I want to be able to glide. I want to look like a flying squirrel.
You, man, you just kind of spread out and just jump off the top of the building. Just spread those this little sweep.
Catch a little wind.
I'm telling you. What do you have? Are you a roller coaster guy?
I love them.
I love them. I don't chase them. You know, and I know people that are like, there's a new one that opened up
I don't
in
do
Guam
that.
I have to go ride.
Like my wife won't ride roller coasters. So when I go to these places, like I've been to Six Flags a few times with my boys, and they want to ride them. She doesn't.
But the irony of this is I have a horrible fear of heights. I'm afraid of falling off things. I could jump off in a parachute. That doesn't bother me, but like the going over the edge, when you look over that kind of, I can't. That's a phobia. But yeah, I can ride a roller coaster.
Yeah. I mean, listen, anytime you're up high, you could die.
That's a true statement.
If you're going on a big overpass over a highway and somebody bumps you into the sidewall, and you could die. But you don't get scared every time you drive over an overpass.
No, I do.
Do you really?
Now I will.
Well,
I really thought about
it. I mean, listen,
wow.
A big rig sideswipes you and you're just done.
Cat leukemia real quick? I want to bring the room down just a little bit. You could die just walking outside.
Yeah, no doubt. It's easy to die.
Well, yeah.
But
you can avoid dying on a roller coaster by avoiding all roller coasters.
I'll say riding a roller coaster safer than finding your keys under a roller coaster while it's being, in operation.
Any highway in San Antonio.
Yes. All right. We got so much more to discuss. The Alex Caruso, Josh Giddey trade. We'll dig into that on the other side. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. Ready for the ultimate outdoor adventure? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star has your chance to win a getaway to Telluride, Colorado. Your prize package includes airfare and luxurious hotel accommodations for two, plus thrilling expeditions like fly fishing, kayaking, ATV rides, and more. And it could be all yours. Enter once per day at sasportstar.com. You must be 18 or older to play. This is an Alpha Media company-wide contest. One winner will be chosen. Complete rules at sasportstar.com. Don't miss out on the adventure of a lifetime. Enter now at sasportstar.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Play ball! Missions Baseball returns Tuesday night at Wolf Stadium. Join us for AARP $2 Tuesday, presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First pitch is at 7:05. Go to samissions.com for tickets.
Join the free smoothie party at Tropical Smoothie Cafe on June 21st for National Smoothie Day. We're treating our Tropic Rewards members to a free smoothie with bowl or food purchase. Order an app, online, or pop by the cafe for a little sip and chill. 3 cheers to our Tropic fam. Terms and conditions apply.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks. It is my game of fun and fantasy, and it's time for the excitement for summer sports to begin. And I say the best way to take summer sports and have the fun with it is to take it to the next level with Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. A community of over 5 million players. If you're not a member, I promise you know one. Prize Picks, it's about more or less. It's about playing the things that you know. You can make Prize Picks a daily game, a weekly game, do it whatever you like, and you can do it fast. You can turn $10 into $1,000 in just a couple of seconds by playing Prize Picks. So get ready to enjoy the fantasy games that you love with the app that is available. And here's the key right now. If you use the code ALAMO, that's ALAMO, you'll get up to $100. Enter the code ALAMO at the Prize Picks app on your first deposit match of up to $100. You know the games are there. You're a fantasy player. Play them the right way. That's Prize Picks. Alamo today.
With Verizon, now everyone can get our best phone deals.
Even if I'm new?
Even if you're new.
What if I've been with Verizon forever?
Oh, yeah. You see, new and existing customers get the amazing iPhone 15 with tons of storage on us. With any iPhone trade-in, any model, any condition. Guaranteed with unlimited ultimate.
Here's one. What if?
That's a yes. There's a deal out there for everyone. Only at Verizon. $829.99, 128 gigabyte only device payment or full retail purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line on unlimited ultimate plan. Minimum $90 a month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Trade-in terms apply.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. San Antonio Sports Center.
Justin Verlander is on the IR as the Astros are calling up top pitching prospect Jake Bloss. In the NBA, J.J. Redick is the new Los Angeles Laker head coach, 4-year deal, reportedly worth up to $8 million a year. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Boom, 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 boom. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Big trade. Swapsies in the NBA as the Chicago Bulls trade Alex Caruso to the Thunder for Josh Giddey. That's kind of what I said, huh? I guess the Bulls are so desperate to have like a playmaker that they're making this move. And maybe the Thunder feel like, well, what's the point of having Giddey, because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's gotten to be to the point where a guy who's great with the ball in his hands isn't necessarily what we want.
He can't shoot.
That's the problem. Yeah. But if you're going to say, if he can't shoot, then he has to be the lead guy, right? He has to be the point guard. But Shai is the point guard now, and he's very good at that.
And again, he can't shoot. And there was this slight issue with an underage girl that hung over them all season long. Video and accusations of a girl in Malibu.
Yeah. But I think her parents were like cool with it or something, which is even crazier.
I'm just saying OKC dropped him like a bad habit. Giddey, this doesn't make any sense for anybody, quite frankly. I don't see what the Bulls are doing. They didn't get better. OKC, Caruso helped Oklahoma City. He's a gritty, tough guard, but I wouldn't say they're better today than they were. This is two teams, one exiting something that, quite frankly, was redundant in Giddey. And Caruso, I don't know what's going on in Chicago. They got Levine problems. They've got a lot of DeRozan problems. They got Caruso issues, and Caruso's been hurt a lot. So it's not like they're giving away something that they relied upon.
Now, the Bulls have been looking for ball.
And Giddey is a decent dude, but let me tell you, I think he might have already plateaued as a player. We didn't see much of anything in the playoffs. Do you remember Josh Giddey making a difference anywhere?
I will say this, though, and I was surprised to see this stat. Giddey has 11 career triple-doubles, which is the fourth most by a player age 21 or younger in history, only behind Luka, Magic Johnson, and Ben Simmons. Well, and Ben Simmons is actually a pretty good comp.
It is, the comparison there. And while the modern game makes it easier to go get triple doubles just by the freedom of movement and the play and the way games are called now, there's a reason why Ben Simmons is now an expendable property, because in this league, in this day and age, if you can't shoot, you have to be. That is a skill set. It has now supplanted your ability to play defense. Used to, if you could play defense as one of your three, to be an NBA player, you got to have three things in your bag. You have to have three. And to be a D1 player, you have to have two things in your bag. You got to do two things better than anybody else on the court. And to be an NBA player, you got to bring three things. Now, it could be three of 10 different things, and some of it might be practice play. But you got to bring three things in your bag. And any more, one of them better be shooting if you're going to have any minutes on the court. And Josh can't do it. He'll get you a bucket. I'm not saying he can't score, but there's a difference between a shooter and a scorer. He's a scorer that is limited there, who can drop a dime and defend four positions. But it's not as important as it used to be.
And it seems like if you were going to get away with being a guard who's not a great shooter, you'd want to have bigs who are good shooters. OKC has that. So maybe he seemed like maybe he was a better fit in OKC than he would be somewhere where they don't have a big who can shoot.
Neither team really improved themselves. It was a lateral move.
Well, Caruso is interesting because Caruso is like you talk about what you've got in your bag. He is an elite on-ball defender, and elite. But so is Lugens Dort. So is Case and Wallace. Like, guys that OKC already had. Like, is that all you're doing with your guards? Is getting defense only guards?
It wouldn't surprise me if either one of these guys is not on the team they were just traded to. It's just kind of a sideways move. Giddey has maybe some more unscratched lottery ticket to him, but we know exactly who Caruso is, and he might be that missing piece, that solid guy to help them through, and it might make another guy expendable like Dort because he is Caruso, and he has been there and done that with two different teams. But I don't see this being a long-term push Oklahoma City over the top, or the same way for Chicago. I don't think they found their answer at long-term point guard. He's going to help, and I guarantee you Levine's happy he's there.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this didn't improve them by more than 2 or 3 games.
This is the final year of Caruso's contract. He's eligible for a 4-year, $80 million contract extension in 6 months.
Dude, that's good money. He's going to get that.
He probably will.
If I'm Oklahoma City, I pay that today.
And apparently league sources are saying that the Thunder are planning on keeping Caruso as a part of their core.
I'd pay that today.
Which means that maybe Dort is expendable at some point. So I was surprised at this, though. Caruso shot 41% on three-pointers last year. That's a good number. And
his problem's been availability. I mean, he just got to stay healthy.
No, you're right. Yeah, he's got to stay healthy. And sometimes, and you know what? If he had were he a healthy body, you couldn't have traded Josh Giddey for him straight up.
I agree with that.
Because Josh Giddey is available, played 80 games this season, that's awesome. But he was coming off the bench, as you know, like you said, in the playoffs, he could barely get on the floor.
Defensive liability to an extent. He's 6'8", so he can guard 3 positions, sometimes 4, depending on the team. Can't shoot much physically. That's where he runs into some issues. Likes to go downhill. Got eyes on the back of his head. If I'm a shooter and a scorer, I love playing with him. But if you're a defense first and lockdown ball kind of a team that wants to limit possessions, Josh Giddey is not your dude.
Yeah, and the Bulls are interesting because they just need somebody who can bring the ball up and make something happen.
Mm-hmm.
And without Lonzo, they haven't had that. they think he can bat.
What's that kid for the Bulls? Love?
Yeah, Caleb Love.
No, it's not Caleb Love. He's Big Fro. What's his? We just had it up, Vic. Can you bring it back up for a second? They do have a small point. Scroll up. Other direction. There. Kobe White.
Oh, Kobe White. Okay.
So he's there to kind of back up and play along with Kobe White. And
I don't think he's going to back up Kobe White. I think they're looking at him as the engine, which I'm not saying they're right, but I think they believe he's going to be like their point guard.
The Bulls got a lot. There's more work going to be done.
The Bulls are a total mess.
Going down their roster, there's some work to be done there.
And you know what? We're going to talk about some of the things that the Bulls have or not that the Bulls, but I guess we will talk about Zach LaVine a little bit later on. We're going to talk about some trade rumors and rumors of guys who are proving difficult to trade. We'll do that. Let's say we'll do that in the next segment.
Coach Zach LaVine to Team USA.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah. I guess he did.
Just saying.
But yeah, this is an interesting trade for an OKC team that. I mean, I guess this is them feeling like maybe they've got another adult in the room.
I think that's the perfect way to put it. They brought an adult to come in and settle the ship, and we saw what happened at times last year. They looked very young,
and they are very young. And one of the things that the Thunder have talked about is, or that people have said about the Thunder is, all of their guys came up together. Like their core is all these young dudes who are kind of growing in the game together, and it is cool. But like the Thunder are now, there's expectations, and once the expectations come, you're going to need someone to be like I said, the adult in the room. And this gives them a veteran guy who can, I don't know. It's going to be hard for him to be the leader of this team when Shea is now like, a top 5 player, but I think he's at least going to be a guy who garners some respect in the locker room, and a guy who can say, hey, this isn't how
I want a ring, man.
Yeah.
It's a good get for them. Let's not discount the pressure that Sam Presti is about to fall under. He's done a lot of good things for a long time and has nothing to show for it.
Yeah. No, you're right. Which, fair or not, yeah, it's that's the reality of it.
When you brought up the fact that all these guys came up together, well, I was remembering that first generations of dudes that tried to come up together with Harden and Westbrook and Durant. I mean, this is the second generation of this, and still no ring to show. I think there's a little bit of pressure above not just the coaching staff there, but Presti's going to, at some point, there's going to have to be some proof in this brilliance that you've shown over the last 20 years, because he has.
Well, I mean, there's been a lot of guys. I mean, Brad Stevens had that until last week. Brad Stevens, everybody said, oh, Brad Stevens is a genius. Mm-hmm. Well, how many rings does he have? Well, now he's got one. He didn't.
No, I'm not saying that there's that Presti isn't perfectly safe, but at some point, this brilliance has to manifest into a ring. I mean, you've done it twice now. You're on your second coach, which is another iteration of your first coach. The mentality is such that it's been successful, but at some point, if you don't win a ring, you might want to reevaluate how you do things.
Well, and you have to reevaluate, what are we considering geniuses? Because Daryl Morey, I mean, 10 years ago, you couldn't find someone to say that Daryl Morey wasn't one of the 3 most brilliant guys in the NBA.
He changed the NBA.
What's he got to show for it? Not a ring on his finger, I can tell you that much.
He doesn't even have a best friend anymore.
Yeah,
he lost his best friend.
He lost his son. James Harden disowned him. You're dead to me. I know you basically sacrificed your career for me, but that wasn't enough. Should have sacrificed it again. But yeah, Presti's in that conversation of guys who it's like, all right, man.
Okay, so we have this deal. We're under a week away from the draft. I expect we're going to see 2 or 3 things happen before the draft. And at some point, picks are going to be involved. There's at least 5 teams in this draft right now who either see something that they absolutely have to have, or have looked around and seen absolutely nothing they want.
Yeah.
And I do expect over the next week that there's going to be some moves.
Well, we'll talk on the other side. We're going to talk about some of the moves that are kind of on the hot stove, if you will, for the NBA. And Malik Monk, he got himself some decent cash. And he's gonna stick around for a while. So we'll talk some more NBA stuff on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, right now, if you are starting your weekend in pain, it's hard to look forward to doing anything fun if it hurts while you're doing it. Don't live that life. So many of us just put up with pain. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio with one mission in mind, and that's to keep you out of pain. And it's the way they do it that has made them so absolutely successful. It's because it doesn't involve medications to dull the pain. It's not about surgery. It's about your body fixing itself. So if you're dealing with a soft tissue injury, or maybe it's a bad lower back or tension headaches, or maybe it's a sprain or a pull, whatever it might be, Arasti can help, and they can help fast. Now, first of all, you don't need a referral to go see an Arasti provider, so you can call them today and go see them today. And secondly, they accept most of your insurances. And next and finally, you get what you need. They're going to give you a full evaluation. They're going to find out what the problem is. They're going to fix the problem. It's amazing when the problem's fixed, the pain goes away. And for me, I'm a great example that the pain in my lower back was actually been manifested from problems with my hamstrings. Who'd have thought? They fixed the hamstrings, the pain went away. I want that for you. Write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. They'll be calling directly to make an appointment here in San Antonio as fast as you can. If you want to find out where all the providers are, go to the website. It's arasti.com. They got a great map. All the providers around San Antonio. There's one less than 10 minutes from where you are right now. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call Arasti today. They're going to get you fixed fast. And when they do, come thank me later.
94.1 FM, San Antonio Sports Star.
Attention race fans, mark your calendars for the biggest event of the summer. Thursday the 27th kicks off opening weekend at Retama Park. Join us for thrilling live horse racing, family fun, delicious food, and more. Bring the whole family and experience the excitement at Retama Park. Gates open at 5:30 with the first race at 6:15. Don't be left in the dust. Get your tickets now at retamapark.com. That's retamapark.com. Retama Park, where the excitement begins. We'll see you at the races.
Come to Generations Federal Credit Union for a great competitive rate on a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, pay off credit cards, renovate your home, and more. With flexible terms, fixed rates, and minimal closing costs. All with easy applications and fast local decisions. Apply today at Generations Federal Credit Union.
Rates and terms subject to approval and may change without notice. Full terms and conditions at mygenfcu.org/homeequity. Equal housing lender.
With Verizon, now everyone can get our best phone deals.
Even if I'm new?
Even if you're new.
What if I've been with Verizon forever?
Oh, yeah. You see, new and existing customers get the amazing iPhone 15 with tons of storage on us. With any iPhone trade, any model, any condition. Guaranteed with unlimited ultimate.
Here's one. What if?
That's a yes. There's a deal out there for everyone. Only at Verizon. $829.99, 128 gigabyte only device payment or full retail purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line on unlimited ultimate plan. Minimum $90 a month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Trade-in terms apply.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has two great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. If you're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it. And if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-5407. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-5407. That's 800-575-5407. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
The NBA Hot Stove League in full effect.
It is the hot stove.
It is cooking, baby. And Malik Monk, 4-year, $78 million deal, including a player option to come back to the Sacramento Kings.
So that starting five. Now, Malik Monk came out of Kentucky, and he was with, it was Malik. Was he on there with, was De'Aaron Fox on that team?
Believe so, yeah.
He wasn't on the team with Keldon, was he? No.
God, what year was
I think that I'm trying to figure out the amount of money
that team has
Kentucky
made.
5 has made since they came out. I'll guarantee you it's $500 million.
That's probably a good guess. Because that would have been. No, PJ wasn't on that team, or maybe he was. Maybe I'm thinking of what Malik Monk would have been. What year was he drafted?
Let's see. Came out of Kentucky in. I'm getting his bio up. He
2017 draft. Is that
That's
right?
about right. No, he's older than Keldon, but that team.
Okay.
2017.
So the 2017 team would have had De'Aaron, Malik, and I think the next year would have been like that's when Shea got there. 2018 would have been Shea, PJ, Kevin Knox.
Jared Vanderbilt's in the league. Diallo came and went. Kevin Knox. This isn't the best team. It's the years following. Shea's on there. PJ's on there.
But 2017, the Malik Monk team.
The 2018 was better.
Yeah, the 18 was better. So, but Monk and Fox both as freshmen, and they were both one and done. And I think Bam Adebayo's brother was on that team too.
Yeah. So I was 1 year early. The amount of money that these Kentucky kids have made and the impact that those specific guards, Malik has played so well, and De'Aaron Fox has as well. They never got the pub. They're playing in places where nobody notices.
Oh, actually, Bam would have been on that team. Maybe his brother was on it earlier. I think Bam was on that team. I think all three, Bam, De'Aaron Fox, and Malik Monk were all freshmen at Kentucky the same year.
I'm looking at the 17-18 roster, and Bam is not there.
Really?
This is Quade Green, the little guard, Jared Vanderbilt out of Houston, Sasha Killia-Jones, Hamidou Diallo, lots of high school All-Americans, Kevin Knox, Nick Richards.
So this would have been
Shea Gilgeous was there. PJ was there.
The year before, though, Malik Monk's year was Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, and Bam Adebayo.
That's the roster that made $500 million.
They might have by now. Did Isaiah Briscoe ever get into the league?
No, well, it came and went. I think he might still be floating around.
So, but I mean, he wasn't. But those three came in as freshmen all at the same time. Boy, that was a pretty damn good team. That they lost to North Carolina.
This one's De'Aaron, Sasha, Bam Adebayo, Hamidou Diallo, Malik Monk.
Oh, that's a good team. That's a good team.
And Gabriel there too.
Yeah, lost to North Carolina in the Elite Eight.
Now those will all be in Arkansas. That's Arkansas money now.
That's right, baby. That Arkansas milk they'll be drinking. That's Tyson chicken money.
You know, Bam feels older than class of 2017.
He does, right? Yeah, but I mean, I think that's because he's big. I think big guys always feel older. But De'Aaron Fox feels younger than class of 2017. But good for him. Malik Monk, I guess he was six-man of the year runner-up this last year.
the reason this conversation has got depth to it is one that we had prior to the show. We were talking about the expectations for Wemby, and as the draft gets closer, and AJ and I are a firm belief that they got to get into the playoffs, whether it's play in or they got to be in that perimeter for the league, for the good of the league, for the good of the team, for the good of Coach Pop, because if they're not, there's going to be a lot of smoke going on. But that being said, we were trying to figure out how they get there and teams that are going to fall from grace and, allow the Spurs to jump up there. And Sacramento came up, and both you and I thought, no, Sacramento's a really, really good team.
I think they're an arrow up
nobody
team.
is talking about. Last year, they hit a little bit of a blip. Injuries got them. But when they needed wins, they were capable of. Sabantas is a double-double machine, and De'Aaron's the fastest player in basketball. So, yes, Sacramento's a team. They did the right thing by Fox. They needed to pay him because that's a team on the uptick that was really off the radar for most players.
I think when you look at Fox, Sabonis, I think you've got two real top-end players, and then you start adding in Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, who I think is getting pretty damn good. Harrison Barnes, who's their adult in the room. And I think that Kevin Huerter, I guess, when he's healthy.
That was the problem this year, no Huerter.
Yeah. So, but I think when those guys, when they're all together, I think they're going to be very good. I like that team. I don't know what the ceiling is in a place like Sacramento, but it feels like they've got a good core built. I expect them to keep getting better, and they're committing to these guys now, which is nice. It's nice that in the past, Sacramento would have just said, "Oh, we can't afford to keep a guy like Malik Monk," and somebody else would have got him.
Yeah, they'd have traded him away for future picks.
Yeah. So kudos to the Kings for getting that done. Elsewhere, there's discussion about some trades, and apparently there's difficulty trading some of these guys. In particular, Brandon Ingram is a guy who's apparently on the trade block. And when Brandon Ingram's on, I think he's very, very good. But apparently the Pelicans are trying to move him. They wanted to trade him for Şengün, and the Rockets said, thanks, but no thanks.
Well, they have Brandon Ingram and two other dudes that play exactly like Brandon does, so they didn't need him.
And I think they probably realize right now, if they did want to trade Şengün, there's a lot more that they can get for him.
Well, Ingram is a worthy get. I'm not going to downgrade. Ingram is an NBA star and worthy of picks and players.
But he's also not in the second year of his deal. Like, he's not cheap like Şengün is.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons you keep sanguine, lots of them. But I'm not going to discount the fact that it's not an embarrassing ask to trade those two guys.
The Rockets passed.
And rightfully so.
Apparently, New Orleans has also contacted the Sixers about Brandon Ingram.
That is intriguing.
And if I guess he would be the if they can't get something done for Paul George, which it seems like that was the plan. I think that might have been the hope for both teams, actually, but they couldn't get it worked out. So now Brandon Ingram becomes like a fallback plan, maybe.
I love hearing this because I'm a firm believer when there's turmoil, that's when good deals can be had. And if you got two teams that are eager to make some kind of deal, and if the Clippers are looking to move Paul George and New Orleans is looking to move Brandon Ingram and they're having difficulty for whatever reason, too heavy of a contract, player issues, whatever the team they're dealing with, that tells me that there's opportunity out there, that there's some desperation in the air. And if you are looking to make a deal, you can get a deal probably a little bit better today than a week or so ago. If in fact New Orleans is eager to move Ingram, which I don't know how eager I would be, but I think it's more likely that he moves than Paul George. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And
well, it's easier to move a guy like that than it is a Paul George.
And I'm just throwing it on the back burner. Years ago, when Kawhi was angry and was looking to get himself to Los Angeles, the Lakers, tried to pry Kawhi directly to L.A. Pop and the crew wanted Brandon Ingram, and they were offered Kuzma and Hart and a variety of other guys, but Ingram was never part of any deal that was thrown out there. I'm not sure if that infatuation survived these years, but I do know that back then that if a deal was going to be made for Kawhi, that Brandon Ingram had to be a part of it, that there was There was some discussion way back when. So if you're looking for things for the Spurs, not that there's any smoke there, but there was an attempt way back when to get him when we were trying to make a move.
But he was cheap back then.
Well, no, he was an up-and-comer. I mean, everybody knew that Brandon Ingram was going to be a stud. He'd just come out of Duke. He'd been in L.A., and it just wasn't fitting. And, he ended up going to New Orleans. But that wouldn't be a shock to see them kick the tires on a guy like Brandon Ingram.
The Chicago Bulls are trying to trade Zach LaVine.
Another guy with Spur relationship. Pop coached him in the last Olympic team. They know each other. It's a position that might be of some use to the Spurs, so you never know.
The Bulls have proposed as many as 15 trades centered around Zach LaVine, including to the Kings, Magic, Sixers, and no one's biting.
Well, look who they're talking about. So LaVine to the Kings, no. They just signed Monk, and they've got De'Aaron Fox. There's no room there.
Yeah.
You look at where Orlando is. Zach LaVine is not going to get in the way of Paolo Banchero's growth, so they're not going to make that deal. So when you see these things, the deals are like, well, they shopped him to 3 places. Well, they looked at 3 teams that, quite frankly, they were either asking too much or he wasn't going to fit. So I don't count those as real shops. You know what
about
I mean?
Philly?
Philly, what's he going to take Maxi's job?
No.
See what I'm saying? So there's not a real fit there either. So you can say, well, we tried to trade you, Zach, to 3 teams that had dudes that looked just like you, and they said no.
Yeah.
Weird, right? So I don't buy that as a serious attempt to move it.
Yeah, it is odd. I guess I'm guessing that they made an offer to the Thunder, because there was talk about Josh Giddey for Zach LaVine.
Well, that would have been Giddey and a variety of things.
Yeah, but it would have been.
But why would I go do that when I've got Shea, who's going to be my guy? Why would I get Zach LaVine, who would obviously help me in the short run, but he would diminish what Gilgeous is good at? I want the ball in Gilgeous's hands.
Yeah, interesting that they've got a guy that. I mean, I think Zach LaVine's there's value. Like, I think he's a good player.
Teams, but every team you mentioned has
one like that. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that he's a good enough player to be. I don't want him to be a focal point.
Exactly.
He needs to be trim.
And
he needs to be.
Well, the thing is, I think this kind of experience, when your agent and your team is trying to trade you, and team after team says no, it's a very humbling thing. I don't care how much you're getting paid. So this might be the very thing that kind of spurs him into doing what we thought he was going to do 5 years ago. He looked like he was about to take over the world, and it just collapsed under injury expectations and mediocre teams.
Again, I think he's a good piece of a team. He's just not the main course. And
part of the best dunk contest the second best dunk contest of the modern era.
Yeah, up there for sure. All right. When we come back, we're going to dig more into this JJ Redick thing and talk about the idea that apparently LeBron had no impact, none whatsoever.
No.
They didn't even talk to him. But what I did read was they talked to Anthony Davis, which I said this how long ago? Making an Anthony Davis-based hire is much more important than making a LeBron-based hire at this point. We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, how about those Aggies? They're going to play for a national title in baseball. That's right, and the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, is going to join us here on The Blitz at 3:30. Plus, John Machota with The Athletic. He covers the Cowboys. We'll talk a little Cowboys football as well. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
This gal came up to me. Hey, what's going on? I'm like, well, I'm going up to my room. Really?
What company?
And I told my wife when I got up there, I said, I think some gal wanted to come up here with me, but I didn't figure this would go over very well.
I got a present for you.
Right.
Look what I found in the lobby.
She followed me home.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years, the leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Paid actor portrayal. Dude, guess how much I pay for $1 million term life insurance policy?
Gotta be at least $150 a month.
Nope. I got coverage through Ethos all online for less than $70 a month and no medical exam. Just answered a few health questions.
That's impressive. I'm shocked you have life insurance.
Wait, don't you? You have a wife and kids. What if something happens to you? With Ethos, you can start your coverage the same day.
Wow. I'm sold.
Get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Zhang's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Jason Minix. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle, 94.1. JJ Redick got himself a job, a new job. Much like me, he's the new guy. He's going to come on, he'll be on he'll be making the rounds. Like he's going to show up at everybody's office and say hello. And, you know,
everybody knows him. He's been on TV. I mean, he's a well-regarded figure in the basketball community. It used to be the pathway to being a head coach was to go through TV. It's not quite that anymore, but it really was.
That's odd, isn't it?
For a minute there, if you were on TV and you were doing play-by-play for a network, you were the next. You were the odds-on next.
Well, it always seems odd to me. Although I guess the reverse seems odd too. I always thought it was funny when Mark Jackson started working, color commentary after he had lost the Warriors job, and it's like he's having to commentate on all this great Warriors success, going, damn it.
That was me. I picked him. That's my play.
Like,
you can't say it, but I drew that play up.
And it could have easily been like I'm sure Steve Kerr is a good coach. I'm sure
it took man meets moment. It's not that it was Jackson's fault, but it took Steve Kerr to go there.
You think so?
Yeah.
But do you think that team would have no rings if Mark Jackson had stayed?
I don't know, but I can tell you
there wouldn't have been a dynasty.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been. Steve Kerr is a generational coach. It just happenstance that he fell onto a generational team, but I think Kerr could have coached a lot of teams to title. He just happened.
So funny because it's like sometimes we think like, oh, how's this coach not won?
Let's think about this. So is the comparison to Steve Kerr and JJ Redick a fair one? Because I kind of think it is.
Didn't Steve Kerr have some?
Oh no, he had some experience.
He paid some dues that I don't think.
But what he brings to the table is exactly. It's kind of like you always hire former catchers as managers. Point guards are great head coaches. They're the guys that always had to have the game plan memorized, had to know all the plays, had to know where all the guys were supposed to be at all times, had to moderate flow, had to understand possessions, had to do all those things that coaches have to do. And when we look at former point guards become great coaches, and JJ comes from good stock. He played under a variety of good coaches. He's a well regarded in the world. I don't know why you preface it by saying no coaching experience. You have to, but after he's coached games, it's not that won't be new to him. It's the other stuff that the nuances of being an NBA coach that no coach can be prepared for until they're a head coach in the NBA. They don't have to pick up on, but he spent 20 years in those locker rooms. This won't be the first time he set foot in there.
I might be wrong. Maybe Steve Kerr didn't have any coaching experience.
I don't think he had any relevant.
He was a GM in Phoenix, but I don't know that he ever coached. Maybe it is a good comp because he was on TV too.
How you could coach?
No,
you could coach the sport that you played.
Oh, I coached some fighters. Yeah,
you could. You didn't have to do it. You did it enough to know what it takes to be good. Now, the nuances, the little things, that's what assistant coaches are there for. But understanding how to deal with desperate personalities, how to balance that along with just the sheer time of being on an 82 game, 41 road game, 8-month schedule. I mean, he doesn't have to adjust from college. He's accustomed to the schedule, the rotation of the seasons. It's not going to be hard for him to be a good head coach.
I generally think it's almost weird when there's coaches who haven't played.
Truth, because it's a different world.
When they succeed, it's like, wow. I mean, like, look at Eric Spoelstra, for example, was not a player, and it's like, man, how did he get here? And it's impressive. There's football coaches who never played a lick in their life, and it's like, it seems to me like it'd be difficult to get there. But
a good example, Frank Martin, a guy been around the world coaching, coached at Miami. He was at South Carolina. Now he's at UMass. He's
Auburn too, right?
Yeah, well, it's been a little time there. Yeah, he did. He never played a lick of basketball. I think he was a high school team manager.
Isn't he very tall?
He's a big guy. And he's from Miami, was a team manager, played a little bit in high school, but he is a coach, and coaches can coach.
Yeah.
And that guy, those coaches that can coach would be a CEO. They would manage a company. Some people can motivate and move other people, and they find coaching, but that doesn't mean they all are coaches. And some guys are born to it. I don't know if JJ is, but I know that he's got the swagger, and I also know that he's got the backbone to go and be a head coach, to stand up and go against his players, or at least battle for their better benefit. And this is going to be the question that he's going to have to overcome first. Is he a LeBron puppet? Is he going to be considered by those inside the locker room or not?
They didn't even talk to LeBron about him.
But
didn't discuss it.
So we can tap dance around it. At what point he's going to have to separate himself from LeBron? It might be by action, benching him.
Well,
or doing something, pulling him in a moment, or maybe something less apparent, not taking a shot that is normally his when you drop a play, giving it to somebody else in a moment that normally would be reserved for LeBron. There's going to have to be a moment where the insiders go, oh, there you go, man. That's a little bit of not LeBron.
I know that like they'll say that they didn't discuss anything with LeBron on this.
Well,
but
that would be stupid on its face.
It would be.
I mean, why?
I don't know why they even try to say that.
Why would you even say that?
Because
of course you did.
The truth is, he is. I'll say this. I don't know if LeBron's legacy could be more impacted by the results of this hire. Like I think about it. I mean, if LeBron got one more ring, people would be like, wow. I think it would really change the way people look at him.
Not so much his effect on JJ, but
no,
the effect on just winning another ring
I
with
think
JJ.
LeBron get one more, I'm looked at in a different class.
Because I carried the coach this time.
Whereas with Jordan, had Jordan gone to the Wizards and won a ring, I don't think anybody would have noticed or cared. Like his legacy was cemented. I think LeBron realizes he still has work to do to like silence doubters and things like that. And I'm not saying that he needs to, but I think that there's people who believe that.
So there's a vested reason for him to be concerned about the hire. I agree. And I do absolutely disagree with the fact they didn't talk to him. But I do think that JJ needed to come in with a certain amount of independence. I mean, no matter what we say or what he says, this is still going to be LeBron's basketball team. I wouldn't think you would want it any other way, no matter what coach came in. You know, when you say, well, LeBron is going to make sure that everything, I don't care what coach you bring in. You're pretty much going to want LeBron to be self-actualized and happy no matter what, and then everything else will flow from that. I also agree that his relationship is far more important
with Anthony Davis.
Yeah,
because Anthony Davis is going to be a Laker long after LeBron is gone.
And he agreed. I'm sure they talked with him a whole lot more about LeBron, about as far as how they're going to use him, expectations for games played, all the little things that superstars really care about.
This list of guys, Mike Brown, Mike D'Antoni, Byron Scott, Luke Walton, Frank Vogel, Darvin Ham. It's just been I guess Frank Vogel won a championship, but I think Frank Vogel still looked at as kind of like a stopgap. I mean, it's since Phil Jackson, they've just not been able to keep a coach. And they've got to get this right. The premier franchise, the premier franchise in the NBA has to get this right.
They got it right.
I mean,
given the circumstance,
0-0. So
there wasn't a lot of pick in there. There wasn't a lot of there. Keep in mind their other prime candidate had also never coached in the NBA. They got it as right.
But he at
as
least
they
coached at a high
could.
level and was a proven winner.
No, I'm not discounting that he wasn't qualified for it, but he had also not coached in the NBA. And everybody will tell you, and once they hired him, they say, well, guess what, Billy? This ain't the NCAA. This is the league. This is a whole new world. Everything you thought, get rid of it. So it's not that much different, but JJ knows the league better.
Yeah.
And they got him a lot cheaper.
I mean, much cheaper. And much less of a long-term commitment.
I'm very comfortable in saying the likelihood of success is far greater than failure, considering the situation that he's taking over, the team that he has now. It's a pretty soft landing spot. He's going to be protected. He doesn't have to be a genius when you got LeBron and Anthony Davis healthy. You don't have to be a genius. You just got to go out and learn, and it'll help him kind of get through what will be inevitable mistakes. There'll be some, weird losses that you could probably pin on him, but he's got two guys that'll just go win games for you. And that'll buy you a lot of learning time. And by the time LeBron is gone, I think we'll know that he's fully capable of this. The question will be how mentally can he handle it?
The Lakers have the 17th pick and the 55th pick in the draft. The knock on the Lakers the last couple of years is they don't have any depth.
No.
They're probably not, I don't know, they're probably not going to get a first-year impact starter at pick 17.
No.
But you like the idea of a guy who can get into the rotation, certainly. Like, in my mind, it's funny, and we're you know what? At 8:30, we're going to really dig into this Spurs timeline discussion. But the timeline for the Lakers, I think, is meaningful when you discuss who they're going to take at pick 17. I'll go ahead and say right now, I can almost guarantee you the Lakers are not going to pick some 19-year-old Euro. They're going to pick a grown man that they feel like can impact the team immediately. Like they're going to be looking at like Tristan Da Silva's, or it might even be like a Zach Edey type. Like they're going to look at guys who played a couple years of college ball and who are close to contributing, because they realize they've got an aging duo of stars. They want this Redick project to not build to something good. They want it to be good out of the gate. Like they need this to be an impact hire, especially because they struck out on their first attempt. Like they need people to look at this and go, okay, they were right about this guy. They can't afford for like a 2-year buildup before JJ Redick gets his team back into contention.
This was a team that ran in the first round, the one team that was absolutely their kryptonite. This was, I mean, they felt like they could win some games in the playoffs, but Denver owns them.
Yeah.
They're in their head. They understand them. They know how to stop them, and LA can't beat them, given now the situation. But if they had not run into Denver, they felt like they could win a series or two. So this is not a barely in kind of basketball team. This was a team that dealt with injuries and strategically got into the playoffs just to be healthy and ready, and sacrificed some games to be there healthy, and just got their asses handed to them by a team that's prepared and understood how to beat them. So I think they're better than what we saw at the end of this season. JJ's in a good spot, but it will rely on free agents. Yeah, they're going to bring somebody in that's going to give them 8 minutes a game, but it'll be somebody that won't make a ripple. But they'll be in the playoff hunt, and then there'll be no reason to expect that, given the right matchups and a healthy LeBron and Anthony Davis, that they can't go to a Western Conference Finals and fight, because it's LeBron, it's Anthony Davis, and at least one other guy who will know what to do. So they're in it like they were before. The Lakers are in a better state today, better situation than I thought they'd be.
Two names that I thought of, and I'm assuming both these guys would be available to the Lakers when they pick, but Tyler Kolek is one. You talk about a guy who's like a mature, and I've seen him just rocket up draft boards. Teams like him a lot. I think because they like the idea of a guy who can come on and play pretty immediately. Terrence Shannon's the other one.
Good athlete.
I mean, Terrence Shannon, you add him to that team.
Reminds me a lot of D'Angelo too.
Yeah,
they have the same kind of game.
I think but that's a grown man, and there's a reason why he was so dominant in Big Ten play, is because that was a league full of young guys, and he was just a grown ass man, and there was no answer for him. Damn near a 24-year-old dude.
On Bleacher Report, they agree.
Zach Edey is who they've got here. I mean, they want they're going to want someone who's got a level of maturity that they feel like they can put out there and make an impact this year, and that means they might not. It might not be the best long-term answer for them, but it's a guy who, like, the upside of Zach Edey, like Zach Edey is going to be what he is pretty quickly.
He's a 10-year pro, man. You draft Zach Edey at 17, you're a happy man. I don't know why people keep downgrading Zach Edey. This guy is ready to play in the NBA and will be a better Walker Kessler. He'll be a better guy.
I don't think he'll be better than Walker Kessler.
I guarantee you he will. He will make a bigger impact than Walker Kessler ever dreamed he could.
Okay.
They went against each other in camps. These guys have been playing against each other for years, and Edey owned him every time. He was second to Edey.
All right. But as you know, in the NBA, athleticism is a bigger deal. And there's something about...
You think... Well, the proof will be in the pudding. I think Edey can really play. I think he's been downgraded. And if the Lakers get him at 17, they will dance home.
Well, listen, I talked about Tyler Kolek, how he's been shooting up draft boards. A month ago, Zach Edey, you couldn't find a mock draft that had him in the first round. Now he's so clearly what he's doing in front of these scouts is impressive.
And I think this other stuff has been smoke screens. Everything we've been hearing for the last couple of months has been some strategery and politics. These are the truthful numbers. The truth that the GMs knew even a month ago, that Edey was a first-round draft pick. You're not a 2-time Naismith Award player and not be a first-rounder. You're just not.
What happens to the like if the Lakers don't make the playoffs this year? Like, is there panic in the streets?
No, I mean, they've got the built-in excuse. LeBron's last year where salary cap hindered. This is a long-term restructure. We might have overpaid Austin Reeves just a little bit. We're going to have to try to figure out how to get around that. So they've got some excuses. That's why he's got a 4-year deal.
Yeah. So, and again, we're going to talk about the Spurs timeline and how Rob and I kind of think they need to get this thing rolling. We'll do that at 8:30. But I think that there's a lot of teams in the West who are headed in opposite directions, and we need more to go down arrow to make room for the Spurs if they're gonna get to that point. So, interesting discussion to be had.
There's always injuries. There's always suspensions. There's always a player with a gun in a club.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully none of those are on this. There's always players who just pull their junk out in front of strangers.
You never know, man. So what we think now, it's going to be, who'd have thought Ja wasn't going to play last year?
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thought Jalen Brunson did?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff out
Things change in a hurry in the NBA. Guys who aren't stars become stars. All right. Next hour, we're gonna start out. We're gonna touch on Quinn Ewers. He had some stuff to say on RG3's podcast about the QB situation at Texas and the kind of pressure that he's under with a big name, at worst, a big name behind him. I don't know if he's a better player. It'll be interesting to see which one of these guys ends up being a better player, but how he's feeling about having Arch Manning waiting in the wings. We'll also talk about Ryan Garcia. We talked about how he's kind of spiraling. It looks like maybe the spirals hit the bottom. Not sure, but we'll see. We'll at least dip our toes in and see if we can reach the bottom of the Ryan Garcia spiral. And like I said, 8:30, we'll hit that Spurs timeline discussion. It is the Morning Huddle on a Friday, halfway home on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
They got him.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson, KTFM Floresville.
Do you know anyone who lives a life of gratitude? Do you know anyone whose life is marked with ingratitude? And which of these do you want to be around? Better yet, which of these do you want to be? Where gratitude enriches and enlarges our personal world, ingratitude poisons it. And the poison is called entitlement. Entitlement says the world owes me, therefore I deserve it. Therefore, why be thankful or grateful for something I'm owed? But life does not work like that for a lot of reasons, and it explains why there is resentment in many hearts. On the other hand, a humble life sees the beautiful things that come our way as a gift, the gift of a beautiful morning, a good cup of coffee, a real friendship, a great family, a job with a paycheck, or good sleep. There's a proverb from the Hebrew scriptures that says, humility is the fear of the Lord. Its wages are riches and honor and life. So you might begin each day in awe of the one who made such an awesome creation, filled with countless reasons for gratitude. This is Mark Absher, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit us online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Do summer projects your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. With free delivery on over 2 million items, you can make the most of summer grilling and dig into gardening. Plus, get same-day delivery on thousands of products like power tools and storage to tackle any last-minute garage project. Summer your way with 4th of July savings from the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Order select and stock items by 4 p.m. subject to availability.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain. So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call.
If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at nordiciusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Joel, I'm proud to introduce my latest in-summer relaxation relief-cation. I call it the Quarter Moon Grill and Go. It's a stainless steel propane gas grill with this, a full-size urinal. If you're gonna grill and you gotta go, it's the Grill and Go.
Folks at Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, we fix plumbing and AC issues fast and at a fair price. 210-651-5899.
Grill and
Go away, Nigel. Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E and 16004.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Center.
Justin Verlander is on the IR as the Astros are calling up top pitching prospect Jake Bloss. In the NBA, J.J. Redick is the new Los Angeles Laker head coach, 4-year deal, reportedly worth up to $8 million a year. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Bum, 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 bum. Hello out there on the radio.
It's AJ and Rob on a Friday.
Or on your device, wherever you might be.
Yeah, wherever you might be. We're here with you. Rocking and rolling on a Friday. Man, I'm tired of rain.
You brought it, man. I'm blaming you for a lot of this, although we desperately need it and are very happy to have it.
Everybody
so
says
I congratulate you on bringing it, but I am a little.
When's it
little weary
stop
of it.
is the question. Like,
they'll be soon enough.
Yeah.
We'll be pretty eager to see some of it. So
well,
I'm not going to
speak for yourself.
I mean, the golf courses are in good shape.
I just want to get out and, I want to go to the water park today. Can't go to the water park probably.
Maybe this weekend. The flow will improve on the rivers.
That's true. But once my kid's gone, I don't know. I'm going to just go float the river by myself. That's kind of a loser thing to do.
You and serial killers.
Yeah, I think that's the only ones who would
by
do
themselves.
And who knows? Maybe it would turn me into a serial killer. I don't want that.
Can you imagine? That dude's been tubing by himself the last 6 hours.
They'd have to come in here and interview you and be like, "Did you see it coming?"
He was a quiet man. I don't know.
He
kept asking for power tools. I know that.
Yeah. And they're gonna look at Vic's drill and make sure there's no human matter on
He
it.
asked me for a shovel, a tarp,
and access to my barn. I don't know why.
Barn and
when he told me my barn,
of it.
when he told me my barn had dirt floors, and he was like, "Well, if you give me a couple days, I'll put you a concrete floor in there." I said,
for several days. Yeah, it was a
"Okay."
little bloody. I was a little concerned about the blood, but that seemed to have gone away after it.
He had a wood chipper, and then it was gone one day. Never cut down any wood though.
That's your friend in the wood chipper.
Ryan Garcia. What a guy, this Ryan Garcia.
I'm so worried about Ryan.
Are you?
I am legitimately worried about his psychological health.
Oh, well, I can just go ahead and give you a heads up. It's terrible. Ryan Garcia's psychological health is very poor. And if you just peruse X for a little while, and you'll note that is the case. But he is now suspended for a year. He's out for a year, but that's like...
And this is due to the PEDs.
Yes. He's saying he's retiring. He wants to just walk away from the sport. It's funny because like my initial response is, I don't want to believe anything this dude says because he's a loon. I think he was just recently talking about banging Caleb Plant's wife.
That's
a couple days ago. He said that he's officially retired. He said, "I'm outie. I may retire. I'm done with this game," in separate posts. And then he said, "There's so much corruption. I'm over it. Boxing will be all right without me. Y'all may catch me out and about, but as far as boxing, I don't know. I may do acting or singing. I'll still be training, but I'm done with it and everyone. The sad part is I'm a great boxer and I entertain and knock people out. I'm sad because I love boxing. Praying for everyone, and I hope everyone has a great life. Still sucks. I was fun in the game, and it was fun to punch people." Okay.
All true statements.
His fight against Haney has been overturned. Now a no contest. The biggest win of his career now became not a win. And Garcia's attorneys are saying that this was a supplement contamination and that the results are like tiny amounts due to this raspberry lemonade flavored amino acid he was taking. And the amounts were so small that they're saying this couldn't have come from like PED use. I don't know how stringent stringent the rules are in boxing, but I think it's pretty hardcore. I don't think they allow for, but I also think it's by state. Like each state decides, and this happened in New York. They're going to have to make a ruling on it, and I guess it could be overturned.
This is not far more than the PED in this fight. I mean, obviously, he has gotten some issues off the. We've got on our brigade bar. Ryan Garcia is having mental issues because of Dan Oscar De La Hoya. This has gone before the positive test. Ryan had been dealing with some demons. He's not retired. He'll be back. He ain't gonna go sing. He's not gonna be acting. He's gonna be a fighter, but he needs to get some help.
He also forfeited his $1.1 million official contract purse and gets a $10,000 fine from the state for being a big fat cheater. And like I said, suspended for a year.
Well, everything he put in his tweet is true. We enjoyed watching you. We like watching you punch hard. Boxing is going to carry on without you, bro. You'll be an afterthought. You're a young, talented fighter who has a career in front of him.
It is funny. As soon as he lost that fight to Gervonta Davis, it felt like
he didn't think he could lose.
Things started spiraling.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, and I hate to say it like this, but when you beat up a bunch of tomato cans, yeah, it's easy to start believing that you can't lose. Then you start fighting real fighters, and it's like, damn, this is a lot harder. And I'm not saying that he's not a good fighter. I think he is, but I don't think he was. I mean, it was pretty obvious in that Tank Davis fight. He wasn't even on that level. Like, he
No.
didn't belong in the ring with that guy.
Well, there's a lot of people don't belong in a ring with Tank.
Yeah, but I think in his mind, he really believed that that's where he was,
No, you're
because
right.
he was sitting at what, at 20 something and 0, like 22, 23 and 0.
And I think a fully trained and prepared Mikey can fight Tank. I think that would be, he's capable of beating. But I think, again, that there was a decline in place that probably was going on even then. And you don't go from where he was to this without some sort of explanation. Sometimes it's drugs. Other times it's, other foibles or flaws. This seems, medical.
Well, and remember, it was, I mean, that was such a big win for Garcia, and he couldn't even win the title because he missed weight.
Again,
Like, badly.
another symptom that shows yet again there's more going on than just the corruption. You're not making weight as a world. Those little things are small parts of a bigger puzzle that has finally come to this. That fuse has been burning for a while. The positive test in preparation for the biggest fight of his life is yet again showing that that's not the guy that we first met 10 years ago, 6 years ago. I mean, when I first interviewed Mikey, this is not the guy that we saw. There's a lot still there to be had, but right now it's time to kind of step away from things, man. The Twitter bombs, and they're kind of lucid, though they're all kind of jumbled together. Boxing is corrupt. Welcome to the party.
Yeah.
You're going to be always dealing with that, but that corruption allowed you to get where you are because it did help you get some fights that, quite frankly, were against opponents that you were supposed to beat.
Well, and the thing, when I realized that there was something going on, like, this was a guy who started his career at like super featherweight, and then moved up to lightweight, and then got a title shot at super lightweight, and missed weight at the heaviest weight he's ever boxed. That's when I was like, what's happening here?
You don't care.
Yeah, I think you're right. He just wasn't.
If you're overweight at the highest weight you've ever fought, you don't care.
Yeah, he's got other stuff going on. I'm with you. There is some sort of mental illness there. I don't know what it is.
Get better.
I mean, he's tearing up hotel rooms in the Waldorf. He's I don't know what's going on with the guy, but he is he's clearly got issues.
Eminently fixable.
Are they
maintainable issues? Always.
I don't know. I think some guys are just
well, some guys are idiots. But I've talked to this. I've talked to Mike. There are people that know him go, this isn't him. This is he's gone places. He's in a space that he's not been in before.
I think the other thing with Ryan Garcia is,
I said Mikey Ryan,
the same guy. Whatever. I think some of these guys, if you have these underlying issues, something that can really, really magnify them is copious amounts of money. Like, it can take someone who's a little bit crazy to being like over the top. You could like I always think, if Kim Jong-un didn't have access to all the money he had, he'd just be another crazy person.
Nut.
We just think, oh, it's just some crazy guy. But like, because he's got all this money, it's like he's able to convince a whole country that what he says is true. It's like, the more money you have, the more self-belief you have in the crazy things that go through your head.
And the more people to tell you that you're not crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to get money from a crazy person.
So and it's hard to say, like, well, what are you can't just say we're going to take all your money away.
Well, mark the date, June the 21st. All this turmoil will go. Let's hope this boils down. Let's see what happens a year from now. Hopefully by about January, he'll have a fight scheduled, and we'll see, because all this money that, has helped to contribute to some of the issues I think he's dealing with is going to dry up fast.
Yeah.
That stuff goes away a lot quicker than everybody expects it. You don't announce retirement without thinking, oh, I got plenty of money.
And I remember several years ago, he's supposed to fight Javi Fortuna, and he withdrew from that bout and said, like, I've got to prioritize my well-being, or something along those lines. And people were like, oh, he means he's got some sort of, he didn't at the time. And I thought the same thing. He had some kind of an injury or sickness and didn't want to risk his coming into a fight that he wasn't fully ready for.
But that was probably a little bit deeper.
That's what it, now in hindsight, it certainly seems like that. And I don't remember why he was supposed to fight Joseph Diaz a few years ago also, and it got canceled. And I know he's the one who withdrew. I don't remember the reason why, but I wouldn't be shocked if it was a similar
was that a fight that wasn't going to be? That was a Texas fight.
No, I think it was an LA fight.
Okay,
but
then that was a COVID issue. Well, one of them didn't he have a COVID issue with one of them? Was that the California fight? No,
it was because this was like fall of 21.
Okay,
so it would have been. Well, maybe
I think there was a COVID issue with one of his fights. Yeah,
but I know that he pulled out of that fight.
Yeah. It wasn't on him, but I think there was something about the fight.
Okay, well, maybe I'm wrong.
No. I think that the fight fell apart. I don't know if it was his. I think we might be agreeing here that it was his fault.
It was his fault as well. Okay. Because I remember Joseph Diaz. Joseph Diaz took that fight against Fortuna that Garcia backed out of, and then he beat him. And then they said, okay, well, now Garcia is going to fight Joseph Diaz. And then he got out of that fight too. So I'm not really sure why he got out of that fight exactly. But I wouldn't be shocked now if it was something to do with well-being, or I've got to prioritize my health, which like I said, I thought was maybe physical health, but it turns out maybe it's something different. So, best of luck to the dude.
Yeah.
I
read this book before.
Again, he's a loon, but that's just a lot of high-level athletes are
Again, man, that's what it takes.
I mean, but he does seem to be getting crazier with age. And a lot of the times you see these guys get less crazy as they age, but again, it's one of those like hot crazy lines for women.
Exactly.
Like you get older, you're also making more money, and that crazy can go whoop with the money while it's supposed to be going down with the age. It's
well, his sweet. I could sing or dance. I think you got some grandiose beliefs here. So.
I'm not sure that you could. I mean, listen, there's a lot of competition out there. I've heard Rob singing today, Benny and the Jets.
Benny.
Yeah. And
Benny and the Jets.
It's very good. And Ryan, I'm not sure that there's room for you in this business.
For us aspiring singers.
Yeah. Maybe we need a third wheel on the Morning Huddle.
Maybe. He could be our super lightweight. No, he'd be a middleweight by the time he got here.
I think so.
We'd take the heavyweight side. Yeah, we'll add him on.
Will he bring breakfast tacos?
By the looks of him, he has.
After a binge night, I'm sure he'll.
Got a few. He bring those LA tacos though. They're not quite as good.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're gonna play some sound from Quinn Ewers. Got asked some questions by RG3 about Texas football and where they're at, where the quarterback competition stands, and whether or not Quinn thinks that Texas is on the right track.
The campaign has begun. Quinn for Heisman, the first edition, sitting with RG3. Here we go.
I think that there's a real chance that happens.
Not real chance. If I'd put some money on it today.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'll tell you what, when you wake up on a beautiful Friday morning and you step into a Connecticut water softened shower, you know the day is starting right. I hope you did the same. If you don't have a Connecticut water softener, let me tell you what you're missing. Connecticut the water softeners themselves are made in the United States, designed here, have been voted the most efficient water softener you can buy anywhere. That's true. It is designed in the United States, but I'll tell you what, it feels like it was made for us here in San Antonio. Our water, it's good stuff. The aquifer provides exactly what we need, but what comes out, while it tastes good, brings a little bit of stuff with it. It's stuff that ends up on your pipes. You can see it manifest on your dishes, that white powder. That's stuff you don't want. That stuff's also in your hair. It's in your skin. Your dogs are drinking it. You're boiling it. You're putting it in whatever you want. You don't want that. That's why you go and you get a Connecticut. All the flavor, all the taste, everything you want, but all the stuff that you don't want doesn't even make it into the pipes. It saves you money. It saves you on appliances. It saves you on plumbing. It saves you on cleanliness. It just saves you. If you haven't gotten one, here's your opportunity. Right now, for the next 90 days, you can have a Kinetico in your home without any commitment, without any cost. You can call them today at 656-PURE. They'll come out and put one in. You can decide for yourself. If you want all the details, go to KineticoSA.com. Sing it while you type it. But know this, there's no better water softener on the market for down here in South Texas. The Kinetico business has been good for around San Antonio. Your neighbor's got one. You might as well get one too. Join the cool kids. Call Kinetico today at 656-PURE. Get a Kinetico in your home. You'll know what I'm talking about by then, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, how about those Aggies? They're going to play for a national title in baseball. That's right, and the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, is going to join us here on The Blitz at 3:30. Plus, John Machota with The Athletic. He covers the Cowboys. We'll talk a little Cowboys football as well. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mark your calendars. Live horse at Retama Park. Gates open at 5:30 Thursday. Get your tickets online at retamapark.com. Retama Park, where the excitement begins. See you at the races.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Did somebody say free diamond bracelet? That's right. Diamonds Direct is expanding upon their best offer yet. Make any purchase this month and receive a free diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. That's right. Any engagement ring, any diamond necklace, any timepiece. Purchase any item valued at $10,000 or more and receive a stunning diamond tennis bracelet at no extra cost. Every purchase of $10,000 or more qualifies. So hurry into Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet ends June 30th. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textblend.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace stopped, opt out. Go to nomoredraftywindows.com for full offer details.
Homeowners, ready to replace your windows or patio doors, but think it's going to be too expensive? Well, think again, because with Renewal by Andersen, you can get top quality, affordable windows and patio doors for no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. That's right. You don't pay a dime for an entire year. Just text LONG to 200-300 right now for your free in-home window consultation and free price quote. Upgrade your home with new energy-efficient windows and doors installed by certified master installers from Renewal by Andersen and get their best in the nation 20-year warranty. Renewal by Andersen is the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. Act now and get your windows and patio doors for no dollars down, no payments, and no interest for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Text LONG to 200-300. Text the word LONG to 200-300. Don't wait. Text LONG to 200-300.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio's sports star. Quinn Ewers, the quarterback of your Texas Longhorns, Rob.
My Texas Longhorns.
You do love that logo, you said.
There's a lot of things about Texas to like. Far be it for me to denigrate some of the better things about the school. And one of them is Quinn Ewers, a kid that I don't want to like. I really don't want to like him. And it's not because he's at Texas. It's just the legend of Quinn Ewers from his high school days at South Lake, and the touched by Godness, the 5-star, the finest quarterback ever to set foot on any high school field ever, to go to Ohio State to leave and come back with his tail between his legs. It's a guy that I don't want to root for, nor do I want to like, yet I do.
I do find him likable. I think he's good. I think that, boy, he had a lot of weapons, but he's also got a guy who I think is like a real quarterback whisperer in Steve Sarkisian, pulling the strings for him, which is obviously a good thing. He is your second favorite to win the Heisman Trophy right now, behind Carson Beck of Georgia. Carson Beck is 8-1. Quinn Ewers is 9-1. Dylan Gabriel is 10-1.
Where is he now? He's in Oregon now. That's right.
And Jalen Milroe, Alabama, 14-1. Will Howard at Ohio State now 15-1, along with Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. Everybody else 18-1 or higher. Connor Wegman 30-1. If you're interested in that,
is he really?
Yeah, he's on the list. Shedeur Sanders 35-1. So
he's Connor Wegman has a better chance of winning the Heisman.
Yeah,
than Shedeur Sanders at Colorado.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Shedeur Sanders is probably going to win 5 games, and that makes it difficult to win the Heisman.
Well, he's got to deal with a bankruptcy issue as well.
But I will say there's some guys like Cam Rising is 45-1.
Former Texas quarterback?
I don't know. He's been at Utah for a while. I don't think he was he at Texas?
I was told that he was. Kind of an internal. I think he did go to Texas, then left.
Cade Klubnik is 50-1. He got the starting quarterback job at Clemson, and he's 50-1. I mean, so there's some guys on here. I'm like, wow, that's
Quinn Ewers, the odds on. He's got a better platform, I think, than even Georgia to win this thing. I'm amazed at the amount of pressure that this kid has carried. I mean, for all the things, he was at Texas. For all the things that I dislike about him are going to be the things, or that I thought I disliked about him, are going to be the things that carry him through this season. Because there's no player in the country with more pressure on him, both from within and without. I mean, he's carrying Texas into the SEC. There's going to be the imminent battles. There's going to be the national TV. There's the Aggie game. And then there's the backup behind him.
Yeah.
There's nobody.
Well, there's a game against the national champions.
Oh, I mean, there could be no more pressure on any other individual. I can't think since Vince never carried this coming, even after the title never carried this. He didn't carry it coming into the title year, so he never had to deal with this. I'm the last guy that's had to deal with something like what he's going through would be Sanchez at USC, maybe. There's a lot of weight on this cat's shoulders, and
there is.
I'll tell you, he has. I don't know of anything that he has done to tarnish the shield for Texas. He hasn't done anything. He's done everything appropriate. Now, he gets to drive a cool car, and he's making $5 million a year to do all that. But he has acquitted himself well, and I think he's going to do just fine on the field as well. Heisman will be easy if he just does what's asked.
He was on.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. He was on RG3's podcast, and he kind of talked about. He addressed some of the things you're talking about. Like, first of all, he talked about the expectations now that they are headed into the SEC.
We take it one day at a time. But I mean, we're all human, and we understand what we want to accomplish, and we've kind of set our minds on obviously the SEC championship, but also January 20th, that national championship game. So, that's what we want, and that's what we are going to hold ourselves to. So, I know we're all excited to get to the SEC.
He also talked about what you said, dealing with all the outside noise and how he's handling dealing with all those distractions.
Yeah, that's a great question.
Thank you.
I think we're really intense competitors, and we all want the same outcome.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I think we're better humans, and I think we're better people, and I think that we really enjoy each other's company in that quarterback room. I mean, during the season, we do quarterback dinners every Tuesday, and we go have dinner together after Tuesday meetings. So, I mean, the room is I've never been in a closer room. I mean, all 3 years, it's been a super close room. mean, my first year here, me and Hudson Card were in a quarterback battle, but at the same time, we're all hanging out on the weekends, going to dinners, enjoying each other's company. So, yeah, football means a lot to all of us, but being good humans, I think, means more.
I mean, you're kind of right. He's
hard not to like him, right?
Yeah. And it also, I think, kind of, it seemed like last year. Remember, he had the big mullet.
That was part of the problem.
He
too.
cut it off,
Mhm.
and he said, like, I'm done, like, trying to build a brand. I'm here to win football games, and he kind of made it about business. And I like that. I like that move. His mullet was spectacular, but it did feel like it was kind of part of his brand. Like there were silhouettes on T-shirts with the hair, and it was like it just felt like he was like trying to pump up his NIL. But then he was like, you know what? I'm here to win football games. That's going to get me the most money,
And that changed.
which is
Sark.
right.
Well, you brought it up. Sark is a quarterback whisperer. He's a hell of a coach, but more than anything else, he communicates with his quarterbacks. They get on. They share this communication level, and his quarterbacks achieve a Zen level.
Well,
what he's been
from the day I got here.
Sorry.
Oh no, what he's been capable. Think about what he did with Tua. I mean, the guy can impart a level of understanding about being a quarterback, and it's more than just what it takes to throw a ball 10 yards out. There's a mentality that he teaches his quarterbacks that you can tell that they've reached this level where things slow down around them, where they can see everything. And Quinn seems to have that 1,000-yard stare now that Tua had when he was a senior, and all the quarterbacks that Sarks has worked over the years with.
Well, I mean, from the day I got here, I think the thing I've heard most from him is you can't go broke taking a profit, right?
Yes.
Don't try to force those deep shots because he'll call them, but he'll call more of them if he trusts you to check one down if it's not
That's
there,
true. That's true.
And obviously just him being in the position that we've been in. He played college quarterback and then went to the Canadian League, so he obviously knows what it feels like to be in our shoes. And he said it. I mean, we're getting a PhD in quarterback play here. So he's been there. He's done that. He's had, Heisman Trophy winners. He's had first-round draft picks. So,
Right.
I mean, you'd be silly not to trust the guy.
I mean, it's a good point. And like you said, that's why I've got no doubt that when Quinn's gone, Arch Manning's going to have some similar success.
He's going to be the benefit of being the little brother. And that's the way he will get to see what Quinn is going to go through. Because let me tell you, as much as Texas thinks they're ready for what's coming, you're not ready. You think you're ready. You're not. What's coming in the SEC is so vastly different than what you've gone through in the Big 12. There's no Iowa State around the corner. You don't get a bye week. There's no rest coming.
No, you do get Vanderbilt still.
Not anytime soon. Look at this guy. See what I'm saying? And even Vandy will show up. The thing about it is now a 52-week preparation thing. And you can't take a day off. Big 12, you can take a week off. Houston's good. They ain't great. TCU's fast, but this is different, man.
No doubt.
And October 1, a month into the SEC, a month in, 2 games in, 3 games in, when the realization sets in that last week was bad and next week's going to be worse. And I'm already hurt.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it took the Aggies 8 years. It took 2 classes before they finally understood truly, this is a battle unlike it takes generations to prepare for.
I will say, I think Texas is lucky in that right now they've got more momentum than they've had.
And they're deeper. They've got enough weapons to step in far more than A&M did, far more. But there's still this level that it's hard to even define until you're in it.
But I think Sark having coached in that league
helps. And greats it far better than OU. OU thinks they're ready. They ain't ready.
They
ain't. They're not.
I think they're going to be surprised.
Yes.
But
Texas is ready as you could possibly be.
But I think Texas doing like what they did with Alabama, scheduling a home and home with Alabama.
Smart.
I think that's the kind of things that prepare you. I always think back to when they won that title with Vince, that they had played Ohio State.
It helps.
And that's what, like, it helps to set up with those games.
But the thing is, you can't schedule Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee. You can't schedule 3 of those in a row to really give you a feel for what's coming.
Right.
You get it once, you think, that wasn't that bad. But then you have to go back and do it, and then again, and then again, and then again. And every team's just a little bit faster, a little bit better in a different way. It is just a different thing
for sure.
And it's physically they're ready. Mentally, it's just going to be a war, and they couldn't be in a better situation with a quarterback that's gone through enough to where I think you guys should be very comfortable at quarterback. That's going to be the least of your worries.
It's funny to think that people were so concerned, like, oh, Arch Manning's going to leave after a year if they don't let him start. And I said at the time, I said, dude, Arch Manning's no dummy. He knew, first of all, he was going to get paid whether he was playing or not.
Mm-hmm.
And he also knew that Quinn Ewers, for people who don't realize, Quinn Ewers was the #1 player in the country.
The best quarterback most scouts had ever seen until Arch.
He was the tip of the top.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was not just the #1 quarterback in the country, the #1 player in the country when he was coming out of high school. And like Arch knew that this dude, like, there was a reason why he was there now. And Arch has said he was going to be patient, and people are like, oh, we'll see when he gets there. Arch is playing it right. And Quinn Ewers talked about the situation that Arch finds himself in now.
Yeah, I think that he gains a lot. I mean, just, not being from the state and coming in, and it's obviously a little different. I think he's got more time to grow his like pride and love for the university. Obviously, he loves the university and loves the Longhorns, but kind of being able to sit back and watch, I think that is it's different than playing. So him seeing kind of what's going on from inside, but also outside, I think that he can get a lot of intel from that. And then obviously another year to learn the offense and just get more comfortable within the smaller details. I mean, it's like the best situation for him, I think.
I don't disagree. I think this is what Texas is doing right now is very difficult to do unless your university has super deep pockets. To keep around a top tier quarterback, keep him in waiting, it's almost impossible in NIL transfer portal age, because everybody's ready to get their money and ready to be the guy. And that means guys transfer quickly. Like if they're having, Quinn Ewers did it at Ohio State. He was like, I'm not getting on the field. I'm out. I'm going to go get money and get playing time, and ended up being the right move. But that's it, because Texas has the NIL backing to keep Arch Manning happy. And let's face it, I don't know if Arch Manning would be okay if he wasn't Arch Manning. Like if this were another dude who, didn't have the family and the family money and the family to tell him, hey, this is the way to play this. I don't know that anybody else would have this kind of patience. But Texas is really blessed in that they've got a guy who's willing to sit patiently and wait. So now when Quinn Ewers leaves, they're going to have a guy who's a junior who's, as good as anybody,
Well, okay. That's in a perfect world.
Sure.
I mean, I want to see where Texas is. And I think Quinn Ewers is certainly up to the task, but I'm looking at their schedule. And when you look that last week of October, you get Mississippi State's coming into town. All right. Then OU, Georgia, little bit of a break, traveling to Vanderbilt, then Florida, then Arkansas. The Boo Birds are going to be out. Ewers is going to make mistakes. He's going to have a bad game. And then we're going to see what patience looks like. Then we're going to see commitment. We're going to see there's going to be opportunities here for Sark to go one way or another that could change the trajectory of where Arch is. There's going to be times when Quinn makes mistakes. He's an undersized quarterback with a good arm that's a risk taker. He's going to do some things. He talked about how Sark, one of the first things he did was, man, just remember to check down. I'm not going to call deep balls if you keep throwing them. So he makes those kind of mistakes. When it hits the fan, when it's tough against Georgia, when it's tough with Florida at home, you're playing Florida at home. when it gets ugly. Let's see how Quinn handles this, and let's also see how the Arch Manning camp handles this. If Texas loses 2 or 3 in a row, and Quinn looks a little shaky, when are we going to see the young man? This is going to be a trial on a bunch of different levels this year for Texas, and the least of which I think is, the issue of who's going to be the quarterback next year. We might be questioning about who's going to be the quarterback this year.
Well, again, usually most guys who come into the season second favorite in the Heisman, they've got a little bit of wiggle room.
You only got a little bit of room, just a little bit, man. When the next is here, who could leave if he doesn't get a shot?
Rob, this team played in the Final Four last year.
That was gravy, though. This was unexpected. They thought this was all about this year. This is where things matter. And if you've got an opportunity or a need to play a quarterback will be here next year versus one who's definitely going to be in the draft no matter what, and you need to prepare for next year, there are decisions that need to be made that will make some people angry. It's college sports. This isn't going to be sunshine and roses all year long. I can't imagine Arch Manning being very happy on a Tuesday night dinner if they've lost 3 straight and he ain't getting a shot.
Oh, I agree. I think the only loss that Texas can look at this year and go, yeah, we were supposed to lose that game is the Georgia game. I think the expectations are Texas is supposed to win every other game. I mean, I think they're almost double-digit favorites against Michigan.
But it is a roadie.
Yeah.
It's a roadie. It's not going to be easy, but it's a perfect roadie.
Oh,
perfect.
Yeah.
It'll be a place that's hostile with a team that's
them
a
down.
little fragile. Yeah.
Yep. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Spurs. We're going to talk about their timeline and what the expectations are for them right now and down the road. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Right now, the grill's probably not hot yet, but you need to think about what you're going to do this weekend. I recommend a couple of different meals. Maybe start the Friday evening or the Saturday pregame with something quick and easy. Go get some ground hamburger meat. Get their house-made hamburger. Doesn't shrink. Perfectly ready to go. A little salt and a little pepper. You look like you're a genius. They cook fast. They cook even. Well mixed with the perfect fat count. You're not going to find a better burger anywhere. That's why you head over to Tri-County, because that's what they do. Everything coming out of there perfect. And while you're getting hamburgers, you might as well get a couple of dogs. And if you're going to get some dogs, get some of their house-made sausage, both dry and wet. The recipe is as good as you're going to find anywhere. I judge a meat market by their sausage, and Tri-County's is as good or better than anything you're going to find. And that's just one of the reasons you head over to Tri-County. The specials are always in play. 5 for $25. Remember that when you're there. There's a special rack over on the side, right-hand side. Walk over there, fill a bag, 5 different items, $25. There's meats, there's produce, everything. It's 2 meals in that bag. No better deal in San Antonio. Go there for that alone. Hebner Road, Ralph Fair. The weekend is here. Celebrate appropriate. Meat meets heat. A great meal starts with great meat from Tri-County. Go get some today, and I know you're going to thank me later.
94.1.
George gets justice. If you've been injured, get George, because George gets justice. With over 100 years of combined experience and a relentless dedication to your case, the attorneys at George Salinas Injury Lawyers will fight for what's right. If you've been injured and it's not your fault, get George and get the compensation you deserve. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
My weekend plans were already looking good, but now they're looking pretty epic thanks to the deals at Kohl's. I just saved on great summer essentials, like shorts for my whole family at $16.99 and some cute dresses for 40% off. I also saved up to 85% off clearance after an extra 50% off. And with their Buy More, Save More offer, I saved $10 when I spent $50. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash. So take it from me, you need to get to Kohl's for epic deals ASAP. Select styles. Offers end June 23rd. Extra 50% off clearance valid through June 25th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-5407. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-5407. That's 800-575-5407. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The Ace Superhero Comic Con presented by Thomas J. Henry is coming June 20th to the 23rd. Meet Star Trek's Chris Pine, Spider-Man Far From Home star Jake Gyllenhaal, Pirates of the Caribbean's Orlando Bloom, Star Wars Diego Luna, She-Hulk's Tatiana Maslany, and the Marvel's Aman Vellani. Plus, the Supermen, Ghostbusters Ernie Hudson, and Arrow's Stephen Amell and David Ramsey. Get your event passes now at pmxevents.com. That's pmxevents.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The San Antonio Spurs, as we come into draft week, have some big decisions to make. And I'm of this belief. All these lists that are coming out, which, by the way, The Athletic gave their they came out with their tier 1, and it's the 6 guys that we predicted it would be. Not one, a very difficult process.
Yeah.
3 are 1As and 3 are 1Bs. The 1Bs, 2 of them are probably easy to pick. Steph and KD, guys who have likely down arrows next to their name. The third is Joel Embiid, who health is always the concern with him. The 3 1As, Giannis, Jokic, and Luka, on top of
the 1As are all from elsewhere, not from around here, are they?
Not from around these parts. But and that was from the list yesterday where we talked about Victor Wembanyama being on tier 2 of the Athletics players list. And the expectations are changing. The expectations are when you have a player like this, and I feel like there was LeBron, and I don't even know if there's been anyone remotely close to that. I guess like Yao Ming was sort of in the same conversation. Like
he was, but not, the expectations were.
That's what I
mean. Wow,
mean.
that guy's huge, but we really didn't know anything other than that.
Well, I mean, much like Wemby, he was coming from a different league where, and at the time specifically, like there was way less footage of Yao than there was available on Wemby. But it was like, wow, is this guy really going to be able to compete in the league? But there was I'm talking about the guys who were like no-brainers, number 1 picks. Like,
man, it's been since LeBron, really. I mean, every year there's hype with somebody, but nothing since LeBron like this, where you just, you aimed for 5 years to get him. You knew what he was doing in 8th grade. No, nothing like this.
Well, here's the reason why I mentioned Yao, because Yao, much like LeBron, and I think much like Wemby, the league has high hopes that they are massive successes. Like the league wanted those guys. The league wanted LeBron to be the truth. The league wanted Yao Ming to be this unstoppable Chinese force. That was the hope for the league. And I think the league really hopes that Victor Wembanyama is what we think he can be. And I believe they have a vested interest in him being great. That means that your timeline is different. You can't slow roll a guy, and I get it. It's not fair because he's 19 years old. It was the same deal with LeBron. It wasn't fair. And it had the advantage of playing 4 or 5 years overseas before he got here. But there is an expectation that this isn't going to take all, let's get on with it. Let's see what this guy can be. I think the Spurs need to start building for now. There's no hey, trust the process, or that doesn't work. You can't afford to be picking this. If the Spurs are picking in the top 5 again next year, this is a disaster.
I would
a disaster. And when I say disaster, I don't mean it's something. I mean, it means there's been something really wrong, and really what it is either Wemby isn't what we thought he was, or Greg Popovich is no longer the guy to coach the Spurs.
That'll be the narrative.
One of those two, it's got to be one of those two things. The only exception would be if Wemby gets hurt, which would also be in its own way a disaster.
Well,
so it's either way, if the Spurs are picking in the top 5, really bad things have happened. I think the expectation is the Spurs are, especially with the expanded playoffs, which LeBron and Yao didn't have the advantage of having. The expectation is the Spurs should at least be a play-in team this year. And if they're not, man, they are running behind schedule.
The NBA so they're going from 18 wins. You figure they're going to have to double that. They're going to have to go to 36 to 40 wins to really.
I thought they won 20 something.
Was it whatever?
I think they won 22.
They're going to have to get to 36 to 40 wins. That's the realm of play-in. I think they're going to have to be. If they're not a playoff team, they better win a whole lot on national TV. They better win those national games, because this is not just about the Spurs and their imminent playoff success. Like you were saying, this is the NBA taking what they used Yao Ming to get into Asia. Now they're taking the NBA game back into the European segment and reclaiming Europe. Their pro leagues have taken on their own life of their own. There are players that now will choose to stay there. We don't want that. We want to dominate that market too. We want them watching us instead of them. And they need Wemby to kind of lead that charge, along with Giannis and Luka and every other Euro that they are. This matters. This is a billions and billions of dollar industry that is relying on Wemby to take them back to whence they began. And they can't justify the greatness if the kid can't even get a pop coach team into the playoffs in his second year. It's not mandatory, but I can tell you this: if they're not in the playoffs next year, the Spurs will be actively looking and preparing for their next head coach.
That's a big statement, but I think it's true.
It will be both from within and without the pressure, because Wemby has to succeed. This goes back to growing your brand. This goes back to getting a building built. We're trying to build a new stadium, and we have the promise of Wemby, but wins build stadiums, not players. Wins do. Titles build stadiums. Not players are transient. This kid could be gone in 3 years. We have to have success. We have to have a modicum of comfort that he will be here past his first contract. There's a lot of things that play into it. And the first thing that has to happen is you're going to have to add 16 to 18 wins somewhere in there. Wemby will bring you 10. Wemby will give you 10 more wins just because Wemby's a year older. But you're going to have to find those 10 more. It ain't that hard to do it, but you're going to have to do it.
I think you might need 20 more wins.
20, like I said, if Wemby will bring you 10. On his own, he will win 10 games that we didn't win last year, because Wemby will be doing Wemby things. It's up to Pop and the rest of the dudes to find 10 more wins that they could not get, they did not try for, or whatever the case. They're going to have to add them to get to the 40. They don't have to get 40 wins. I don't think they need to have a winning record to be considered on the right track. They just need to be near the playoff, and Wemby needs to win nationally televised games. If they do that, then they'll be okay. Now, that's externally. Internally, the pressure might be even more so because Wemby's going to do some things that's just going to blow our minds on a regular basis.
The Rockets finished 41-41 this year. Huge. They took a huge jump.
I don't expect the Spurs to do that. I don't think they're going to get to 41 wins.
Well,
There's just not enough there yet.
Then they're not going to make the playoffs. I think the West is too good. I mean,
again, play in. While the league will tell you that, I just think the Spurs need to be relevant till at least the end of the regular season.
The last play-in team was Golden State. They were 46-36. It's a lot to ask. I
think we need to be there to ask them to go from where they are to go to 46 wins is. Unless there is indeed that kind of swing for the fences move before the season begins. That's illogical to expect. They just need to be better and need to be in a play-in contention to be relevant until the end of the season and win on all those national games. Wemby's going to have to perform and they're going to have to win. There has to be at least, okay, they're taking the next step. And if there's not, then we got pressure to bear, both from Wemby's camp, from the Spurs ownership. We got to get a building built to, oh my goodness, Pop has been here too long and it's time to turn the page. But all that happens if they don't get close.
Here's the problem if they don't make the playoffs. The thing about the NBA is there's only 10 teams, 5 in each league, 5 in each conference that don't play in. And if you go through the teams that didn't make the play-in last year, and you say, well, it's easy to see why they didn't make the play-in because they don't have the guy. They don't have a dude on their team. And you go, okay, well, but the Spurs have a dude. So, like in the East, Brooklyn didn't make it. They don't have a dude. Toronto doesn't have a dude.
No.
The Hornets don't have a dude. The Wizards don't have a dude. The Pistons don't have a dude. So it's easy. Like, it's real easy. Okay. In the West, Portland doesn't have a dude. Memphis has one that pretty much missed all last season. They at least have an excuse. And the expectation, I'm sure, in Memphis sports radio right now is we got to get back to being a play-in team, at least. We cannot be 27-55 again while we've got Ja Morant. Utah doesn't have a dude. The Rockets don't have a dude. The Spurs have a dude.
Yeah.
So of the 10 teams that didn't make it last year to the play-in, not counting Memphis, who, like I said, I think has an excuse, the Spurs are the only one who have a dude that didn't even come close. They've got to take a big step.
We talked about the Lakers and the maneuverability they have to get themselves through the LeBron era, to get J.J. Redick and the Anthony Davis thing going, and what they have to draft that's appropriate to bring in a guy that's ready to play. Don't we need to apply that same standard to the Spurs?
Yes.
Okay, if that's the case.
One of these two guys that they draft on Wednesday has to be ready to play.
Then why
day
isn't,
one?
If you're big on Connect, now this is a bold statement for a team that's drafting 8. Then why isn't Zach Edey more in the conversation with the Spurs? Because that's the most pro-ready guy coming out.
I disagree with that, but we can talk about it more on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Give Me the VIN.com salutes victory in the Pacific. Japanese resistance on the island of Okinawa was finally ended on this day in 1945 as U.S. forces' last stepping stone before the planned assault on Japan during World War II. Also on this day, Give Me the VIN had their very own victory in the foreign market, offering $5,000 more than a local dealership for a 2020 Toyota Camry TRD V6.
Sell us your car. Give me the VIN.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
If you're into riveting crime series, Hulu has what you want to see this month. Stream Mastermind, To Think Like a Killer, the story of the woman who invented modern serial killer profiling. Then get your fix with The Perfect Wife, based on a bizarre real-life kidnapping. And don't miss Cult Massacre, the definitive documentary on the 1978 Jonestown Massacre. So, what are you waiting for? Head on over to Hulu and catch all this and so much more.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Working from home, enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit, hims.com/joy.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Justin Verlander is on the IR as the Astros are calling up top pitching prospect Jake Bloss. In the NBA, J.J. Redick is the new Los Angeles Laker head coach, 4-year deal, reportedly worth up to $8 million a year. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Rob, you are like many that I've heard from recently.
Many are like me.
Many are like you, believing that Zach Edey is going to be a strong NBA pro.
I think he will be a 10-year NBA player, barring injury. I think he will be a consistent double-digit point rebound combination. I would say he would probably be a career 10 and 8 rebound guy. I think he's capable of 3-4 assists, probably at least 2-3 blocks a game. And if I took Zach Edey's name off of that and I said, you can draft this guy that's going to get you 10, 8, 6, 5, and 4 for 10 years and will never cost you more than the average league position, would you draft him in the first round?
Yes.
Yes.
But I don't think he does that. I think if he averages 10 anything in the league, I think it'll be 10 minutes.
I see. I don't understand why people don't think he's capable of playing in this league. The best comparison I can throw out right now is Boban. And Boban has been in the league 10 years. And if you go and look at his points production per minute, it is as good as anybody in the league. There's a reason why he is still here, even though he's a parody of himself. But when he's on the court, even though he's not in shape and not capable of giving you more than about 5 minutes, what he does on the court when he's out there is ridiculous. He is a difference maker. Zach Edey is a refrigerator. He is a space heater. He is not a mobile guy, and he doesn't fit on most NBA teams. But the few that he does, like the Los Angeles Lakers, they all share one thing: a very mobile and active fellow big. Yep. And what Zach Edey does is free Anthony Davis, if he goes there, to go do the Anthony Davis things that made him a superstar. Hit the three, be a mobile big, run the court, be the backside help. Everything Wemby is good at, Zach Edey augments. Should he be the first guy the Spurs draft? No. I'm not even sure he's good enough to go at 8. But I can tell you a mid-teen Zach Edey draft for a team like the Spurs, like drafting a kid just like Klingon from Connecticut. Slightly different skill sets, but what he does do is he provides the protection of doing the dirty work that, quite frankly, we don't want Wemby doing.
What I know is in today's NBA, there aren't bigs who just post up, put their hand up, and wait for the ball. Zach Edey is not Shaq. Okay. Zach Edey,
he doesn't have to score a bucket, is what I'm getting at. That's why only a few teams can afford to go look at a guy like that, because they have the pieces that he's missing. But what he brings takes away so much responsibility and allows the other big to go do stuff. We saw the benefit of Karl Anthony Towns once Rudy Gobert got there. And suddenly Cat can go be that dude without any kind of abuse or any kind of fault taken. Go be the big that takes the threes. Go be the big that'll put the ball on the floor and face the basket and go play downhill. Go be that, because that's what you're good at. And when they did that, it freed Karl Anthony, and suddenly Minnesota is a contender. Even though Rudy Gobert didn't provide 1 ounce of offense, the entirety of their offense got better.
But Rudy Gobert can get up and down the court.
So can Edey. We're not talking about anything other than what he is. And I'm not expecting him to do much. And he doesn't have to get up and down the court as much, because we got a 7'4" antelope standing beside him.
Well, first of all, I think the idea that Zach Edey is an elite defensive player will be exposed at the NBA level.
Okay, define elite defensive.
I like the idea that this guy's like some kind of great shot blocker.
He is. By just his mere presence at 7'4", he is a tremendous shot blocker, not just by the shots that he'll block, but by the shots that will never be taken.
What I saw is, and when I said something about being able to play in, like being able to play in or being able to defend pick and roll, and you said what percentage of NBA is pick and roll at this point?
Oh, it's 90%.
That's what I think too. And I saw when they played UConn, they pick and rolled Zach Edey. It was like, if he had to make a guess, he chose wrong every single time, and they just ate him up. I think now in today's NBA, you have to have some versatility. And I think Zach Edey has none. He can guard one position on the floor. He can play one position on the floor. And God forbid, what happens if they play the Timberwolves and Rudy Gobert is sitting down and Karl Anthony Towns is playing the 5?
You've got a 7'4" dude that's also on the court. See what
that means? There's somebody standing out around the 3-point line by themselves.
But you also have other bigs. What I'm getting at is not a lot of teams can draft Zach Edey, just like most of this draft. But when there's drafting appropriate and there's drafting for potential. There's only a few teams that can look at Zach Edey and go, you know what? This guy will make us legitimately better because he can do this because of the other guy that we've got. Now, does Zach Edey belong in the first round if it's Charlotte drafting? Hell no. That doesn't do them any good. It doesn't augment what they've got. But if I'm talking bottom half of this draft, and I've got a mobile big guy, and there's about 15 other teams out there that have a guy akin to what Zach Edey is a perfect fit. That's why Klingon is a perfect fit for some of these teams. Alone? No, he's not the guy. But in combination with what you've already got, I'm not saying that Spurs should draft Edey at 8. I wouldn't even draft him at 18 or 7. Maybe right about then is where I'm looking. But what I am saying is guys like Edey, when we're talking about teams like Los Angeles, who we say the same things about the Spurs. Look, it's win now. We got to get better now. We don't have time. Zach Edey's appropriate for them because they have Anthony Edwards or Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
But why is he not appropriate for the Spurs when they have even a better iteration of what Anthony Davis can do? Everything Anthony Davis aspires to be, Wemby's going to be better at. Everything he does, Wemby will be better at. So why not give him the same thing that we say that's good for Anthony Davis? I'm not saying that he is the savior, but there are teams that can use a big like that. And it might not be Zach Edey that the Spurs get in the second round. But don't be surprised to get a big dude that only wants to rebound, block shots, and stand in the paint. And he'll get a lot of minutes if he does.
But I just think that at some point you have to be – today's bigs are you're either if you can't dribble or shoot, which Zach Edey can't. He can't dribble and he can't shoot.
He can shoot.
He can't shoot. He's like his range is literally 2 feet from the basket.
That's all I'm ever going to ask him to do.
Runner.
What was Joel Embiid when he got in the league? He was Zach Edey. He didn't take threes. He couldn't take threes.
Joel Embiid was raw. He was raw.
I'm saying that you can pick up a skill.
Zach Edey's game has not evolved one iota.
Okay. What if I told you could pick either one of the Lopez brothers?
Okay.
Zach Edey is probably the best. His highest aspiration is the best Lopez brother in your eyes. If you could go get a Lopez brother in the first round.
If he was Brook Lopez, I would be like, man, you got to take him. I just don't think he's that.
Apply what Zach Edey does to what Brook Lopez became. That's what
I don't
they
think
do.
They're the same. I just think Brook Lopez is a better athlete. I think he's a more versatile athlete.
Keep in mind, we're talking about the 2-time Naismith Player of the Year that took a bare bones, slow Purdue team through the rigors.
Which,
2
by the
times.
way, that's the other thing. You have to build your team to play with Zach Edey.
You
have to be slow.
Well, no, you just have to have other parts that apply that you don't have to worry about the speed that Edey brings. Joel Embiid ain't a speed demon. Neither is Jokic. They're not running up and down the court.
You want to hear something? But they're skilled. And Zach
so
Edey's
is
not.
Edey.
He's not.
He is the 2-time Naismith Player of the Year. He is a highly skilled.
He's
player.
got one move: put my hand up in the paint, turn around, and lay it off the glass.
I disagree. Go look at it. There's more to it. And again, I feel like I'm promoting this guy to be a top 15 pick, and he's not. But what I'm saying is, in this draft specifically, when you're looking for guys that are ready to help, and I made a list. These are the guys by my list that will be ready to play the moment they get on the team. Castle, Klingon, Edey, which is down there, Connect, and Shepard. Those are the 4 guys that I look at when I say the skill set that they bring will immediately apply. And if you don't get those, you're drafting a project.
Okay.
Everything else is a project.
Do you know how many baskets Zach Edey scored in transition this year?
I hope there's none. How slow could you be?
Not a single one.
But how many of those transitions did he start? 80% of them? Did he grab the rebound and get the outlet down there for there to be a transition basket?
But how many?
That's what I'm worried about.
Bigs? This isn't 1987.
It doesn't have to be. Joel Embiid, how many fast breaks did he finish?
And this is like where old guys like the generation before you always thinks like, oh, that's incredible. It's impossible to say this, but I really believe that guys like Patrick Ewing, would be afterthoughts in today's game. Like, it's really hard for a guy like that to exist in today's NBA.
You're right, but they would have been taught a different set of skills. He would have, when we were coming up, when you started at practice, the big men went to one side of the court and the guards went to the other side of the court, and the big men did mic and drills and posted up and all that, and the guards dribbled around cones. Now everybody's dribbling around cones and everybody's doing the mic and drill.
But Zach Edey can't dribble around a cone. Like, that's the thing.
Neither can Joel Embiid, but he is an MVP.
I just think that, because I saw somebody else say Jokic on the Brigade bar.
Jokic's got handles.
To me, Jokic and Embiid are like the new, these are skilled guys.
Embiid wasn't that. He became that. He will never be either. And again, I'm talking about a career 10.8 guy. What I'm saying, for at least for the Spurs in the short term, is if you're looking to draft and not go through free agency and get yourself in a position to be in the play-in, you have to draft guys that are ready to play now. Not a Richashay that's got to learn the game. They got to figure out, or a Sar, or any number of these Euros. Castle, Klingon, Connect, Shepard, and Edey, by my number, by what I see, are the only dudes that are going to show up and go, give me the ball.
Like, to me, there's a guy who, if you're looking for a big to pair with Wemby, that you're wanting to kind of project on, because I think obviously Klingon is NBA ready today.
Like use my list. He's top 5.
I said a month ago, and I stand by it now. If I had my druthers and I pie in the sky, I could get whoever the Spurs, like, if I could say this is my dream pick at number 4, it's Donovan Klingon. I think they'd be great paired together. There's a guy who is going to be probably picked around the same time Zach Edey is, and it's Yves Macy from Baylor, who is very raw, picked up basketball very recently.
I have no problem. That's a guy that works for the Spurs.
I agree.
Just do 3 things, man.
But the thing with him is, he doesn't have a lot of, I'm not saying he's got a versatile game either, but he's been playing basketball for 3 years. There's room for him to grow.
We have time to wait on something.
But I feel, that's the question. But Zach Edey, I feel like if he was going to get better, if his offensive game was going to evolve, it would have in the 5 years or whatever he was at Purdue.
Well, keep in mind, when he got there, he could barely walk. I mean, he couldn't even feel his toes. This best case 10, 8, and 6. But in this draft at 25, again, I will apply. If you can draft Robin Lopez at number 25, would you? Yes.
But the Spurs don't pick at 25.
No, that's the problem. They're drafting too high to get a guy like that.
And if you told me remember a month ago, Zach Edey was never in first round mocks. He was in second round. And if you had told me a month ago, it'd be great if we could get Zach Edey in the second round, hell yeah. But the idea that I'm not willing to say I'm not going to spend a first round pick on the guy.
They have Missy going 21. I didn't realize. I've always appreciated his game because I think he doesn't get credit for all the things that he does so well. All we look at is the things that he can't do. No, he's not going to sprint down the court. No, he's not going to hit a deep 3. Can he learn? Yes. But what he does do right now, set picks, own the paint, block shots, be the counterweight, he does that at a pro level already because that's the only things he could do.
I think Edey's is good at being big.
That's a good thing to be.
But I think that's just not enough in the modern NBA.
I think in this league, being big and feeling big matters more than being big.
I just don't think he is the athlete necessary in the, again, if this dude came around in 1989, he might be the first pick. Like, he could dominate the league back then. It's just a different era. Like, it is a different time. And there was a time when guys like Zach Edey were what you wanted. That's what you were like, oh my God, look at this monster who's coming. Like, who's going to stop him? Now, guys like that, it's an easy way to stop him. You just don't let him get close to the basket. And
but see, I'm not talking about him stopping or being stopped. I don't want him to be my offense. If he's my offense, I got problems. I'm talking about what does he do to stop things.
But I think when he's got to keep up with faster players,
well, there's always going to be the minute limit.
There's going to be
that goes back to the Boban problem. You get him for 8 straight minutes, and you got to give him a blow. That's just
not only that, but it's also going to be he's going to be in foul trouble a lot.
Probably, but I'm only going to play him 16, 24 minutes anyway. So you're picking up 4 fouls. That tells me you're doing your job.
I think he's going to get 10 minutes a game in his career. That's what I believe.
I think 10 points. We'll see. I do think that people are selling him short. I think he'll go higher than people expect, and we'll see him play more minutes. Now, what happens 3 years from now, we'll see.
All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about maybe the scariest story I've ever read in my life. Imagine going to the doctor. What's the worst thing you could wake up to? We'll talk about it next. A Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, how about those Aggies? They're going to play for a national title in baseball. That's right, and the voice of the Aggies, Andrew Monaco, is going to join us here on The Blitz at 3:30. Plus, John Machota with The Athletic. He covers the Cowboys. We'll talk a little Cowboys football as well. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
It all comes down to this. Get to the #1 sports bar, Twin Peaks, and catch every second of the final series in professional basketball. Will Dallas or Boston take the championship trophy? Find out at Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Did somebody say free diamond bracelet? That's right. Diamonds Direct is expanding upon their best offer yet. Make any purchase this month and receive a free diamond tennis bracelet valued at $2,000. That's right. Any engagement ring, any diamond necklace, any timepiece. Purchase any item valued at $10,000 or more and receive a stunning diamond tennis bracelet at no extra cost. Every purchase of $10,000 or more qualifies. So hurry into Diamonds Direct. Your chance to get a free tennis bracelet ends June 30th. Details at diamondsdirect.com.
Missions Baseball returns Tuesday night at Wolf Stadium. Join us for AARP $2 Tuesday, presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First pitch is at 7:05. Go to samissions.com for tickets.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-5407. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-5407. That's 800-575-5407. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. Your coworker Kyle said bundling home and auto insurance with Progressive could save you money. Bad news. While saying this, Kyle was eating your clearly labeled lunch. Dumb news. Pizza near work costs $7 a slice, and it tastes like drywall covered in ketchup. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and enjoy more lunches far away from Kyle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Rob, you've had surgeries.
Yes.
I will say. I'll say this, man. There is no better nap. If you have a hard time resting, go have knee surgery. You will wake up and be like, "Oh my God, that's the best sleep I've ever." I don't know. I don't know how long it takes, but you wake up from knee surgery and it's like, man, it's like sleeping 14 hours. But there's some things that a great nap just isn't worth.
Well,
a man woke up in a hospital in India.
Oh, in India. Okay.
To find that he was castrated. He was tricked into a sex change operation.
Tricked?
Yeah. Now imagine you and your neighbors, Rob, out there on the Thompson estate.
Yes.
You know your neighbors to each side?
I do.
The people you share a back fence with.
Okay.
Imagine they said, "Hey, this part of the land is mine, and your fence is in the wrong place."
Mm-hmm.
Now, here we would say, "Okay, well, let's get out our maps and let's go get out some people
Get a
who
surveyor, and we'll figure it out.
We'll figure things out." Apparently, in India, that's not the options. This is an odd thing.
I'm having trouble going from
I know
land dispute to castration, but
so the man who was afflicted by this, the victim here, says the incident was a culmination of a 2-year campaign of threats and harassments by this guy he's in a feud with. His name is Rakash, is the bad guy here. Mujahid is the new lady.
Is that a male or a female name?
Well,
is he gonna have to change his name?
I don't know. But Om Prakash told Mujahid that he would now have to live with him, as he would be ostracized by friends and family. Like they said, well, now you don't have a choice. You're going to have to live here, and this is my place now. You're a woman. He says, "I'll shoot your father, and the land of your share will be named after me, and I will sell it." I mean, I guess it's the Wild West in India. But basically what he did was this guy paid off doctors, allegedly, to get this guy into surgery and then get him a sex change operation. I would think that could cost you your license.
I would think that's probably against at least one ethics code.
Yeah. The guy is accused of misleading him into believing he had an urgent medical issue that needed to be solved. He went into the hospital on June 3rd, and when he woke up, he said, "You're now a lady. Congratulations!" And he's like, "Wait, I didn't sign up for that."
So and then
That's
he
not
lost.
funny, Vic.
So then he lost rights to the land because he's a lady.
Yes. Although that was the guy's plan.
Oh,
I do think Mujahid's family are also suing, claiming that his life has been severely affected by this horrific incident. You think? Local cops have arrested Om Prakash and said they are investigating the doctors.
Well, I would hope. I think the doctor might need to explain something.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. And that's not one of those things that you can get undone.
There's no recourse there.
There's no going back.
No, to redress this, there's going to be some pain and suffering involved in this. You're going to have to provide some damages above and beyond just physical.
I don't know what's the dollar amount. I mean, I get
$20-$30 at least.
I mean, the deed's done. So if you say, well, it's not as simple as saying for $10 million, would you cut your junk off? Because most of us would say, hell no. But now that it's done already and you don't have a say in it, I'd take $10 million. Something, maybe 50. I don't. It seems like it could be a lot.
Well, that, and I'd need access to the best plastic surgeon's money could buy.
Yeah. And there's a picture of the hospital, and it doesn't look like, I mean, it certainly doesn't look like the kind of hospital that you or I would want to go have surgery in. So I don't know how much money is involved with this thing. I don't know if they can pay this, if they can pay enough.
I Googled accidental castration damages just to see if there's ever
if there's precedent, legal precedence
that's been brought for an accidental.
This dude's 20 years old.
Ooh, that's worth at least $100.
I mean, you're losing out on a lot, and I don't know what the moral, kind of thing is in India, but there's a good chance this guy was a virgin. I don't know what his religious beliefs were, but there's a good chance he'd never known the touch of a woman.
Never.
And now he never will.
There's millions involved, although I'm not sure
there's not a lot of cases like this, huh?
I would like to think that he gets to something special.
I would like to think
more
that
land.
I think the guy who did this gets the death penalty, or at least gets castrated.
I think castration. It's India. Maybe they do some kind of eye for an eye thing.
Tit for tat, or
something like that. Dis for dat.
Dick for dat.
Dit for dat. Something like that.
Yeah.
Something that could happen. I mean, I don't know what the law is like. This just happened too.
Yeah. I mean, this is
So how do you talk the doctor into cutting him off? I mean, what exactly are you saying? Like, he doesn't want him. I mean, what did the doctor have to believe? Like he had convinced the doctor that he wanted to be a lady?
I'll give you some of this farmland.
Oh, so it was all about the land.
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't say that.
Like, split the land with a doctor that's willing to cut off.
There's going to be a follow-up because they're investigating all the doctors now. But I don't know. Like, it could be as simple as like the guy said, "Hey, man, you got cancer. You got to get in here and get this procedure done." And the bad guy fills out all the paperwork while this guy's over here crying because he thinks he's going to die. And he turns in the paperwork and says, "Please take care of my friend.
Fix him now.
Please save him."
Congratulations. We got rid of the cancer.
Oh, no. The cancer was your junk.
All right. And then cancer.
That was a perfectly good penis. Now gone. Man. This is a horror show. I can't think of anything worse, to be honest.
Well, no. And he gets to live with that guy, though, right?
I don't think so. I think that guy's going to live in prison. I really do. He should. He should.
You see, kids, just settle your disputes. Figure it out.
And finally, as if if there's not enough messed up in the world, we go to Texas. Hidalgo County.
Not far from here.
It's in the valley, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird that the valley's not far from here. Cirillo Castillo was arrested by Special Rangers TC, the Southwest Cattle Raiser Association.
We've got some rustlers going on.
Even worse, friend. This man's been arrested on bestiality charges.
Oh, he wasn't rustling.
He was
snuggling.
He was snuggling. According to authorities, the victims,
we use this term broadly,
who I wonder if they mean,
are they bovine victims?
No.
Porcine victims?
They're
equine?
They're equine.
Horses. Lovely. All right.
Yeah. So when they say the victim, do we think you're talking about the horse or the horse owners?
I would think the victim would be the horse. I'd like to think it would be, they suffered the most, really.
Well, it says here, when it talks about the victims noticed something, it makes me think they're talking about the horse owners.
Oh, well, they didn't get victimized at all.
The victims, who lived in a rural area between San Juan and Alamo,
all right,
noticed that someone was leaving wooden benches and chairs in their horse stalls. They then installed a surveillance camera to monitor the situation, and because they had a pregnant mare that was scheduled to give birth.
Oh, no! We got a horse boy coming?
Oh, my gosh. I hope the National
We
Enquirer.
got a superhero going to be born?
Call the National Enquirer.
They got a pregnant mare? Was there ever a bench behind her?
In late March, one of the victims was watching the surveillance camera and they noticed someone laying on the floor of the stall. The victim then went to the stall and saw this individual standing on a chair toward the rear of the pregnant horse, and he began fumbling with his pants. Authorities said the suspect was wearing a mask, but through an investigation, they were able to identify the man as Castillo.
Were there several telltale marks? I saw Porky.
Well, he has a history. You see?
Oh, he's got a type.
He's on the.
We all have a type. AJ.
He's on the horse sex offender
You know,
registry.
I prefer brunettes. He prefers thoroughbreds.
Does bestiality get you put on the sex offender list?
It should.
Absolutely should.
It should be an entirely different list.
There's a report in 2013 that he pleaded guilty to having sex with a horse named India on video.
Again, he's got a type.
And after that incident, the sheriff of Hidalgo County, Lupe Trevino, said this guy will continue to do this. He is a habitual offender.
I got a doctor in India he needs to meet.
2015, guess what? Arrested again after being accused of trying to have sex with a horse.
I think the Indian doctor should be called in. I know exactly the guy to call.
This time, he sustained a leg injury after being kicked by the horse. This horse fought back.
Go until something pops. That's what we say.
He told the authorities he was hit by a car and crawled into the barn for shelter. I mean, this guy, authorities said the horse is going to be checked by a vet because there were defects in the pony that was born. Oh, no.
Ridiculous.
Oh, I might be a pony boy. Stay gold, pony boy.
What's this guy's name?
Cirilo. Am I saying that right? Cirilo Castillo?
Cirilo
Cirilo. Cirilo.
The horse whisperer.
Cirillo? Even with only one L?
One L?
One L.
Cirillo.
Cirilo Castillo is, man, they put his picture up here too. This is bad.
Is he a happy man? Does he look
self-fulfilled? No, he's got a standalone goatee, and then like the mustache that's only right here.
Oh.
And then he's got like the bozo ring haircut where he's got a lot of hair.
It sounds like he should be pretty good with the ladies. I don't know.
But he does have like, it's almost like a mohawk of fluff. Like it's like he doesn't shave it. It just grows that way. But there's like a little area on top where it does grow. It's not great, but it does seem like there's at least some person who would have sex with him. He wouldn't have to go around.
I found the story.
He wouldn't have to do all this horsing around.
Yeah, this guy has been horsing around for a minute.
It has to stop.
When the headline of the article in the Concho Valley News is man arrested for having sex with horse again.
Yeah, again.
I think we need to question our policing and jail policies. I think the revolving door for our horse buggers.
I mean, in hindsight,
we need to strengthen our horse buggler laws.
In hindsight, that sheriff was really on to something when he said he like, you know, the serial killer profilers who are like, he's not going to stop. He's not going to stop until he's stopped by us.
This guy's got a genuine taste for it.
He's got a taste for it now. He's going to keep going until we put a stop to
how are we
this.
going to find him? First, I'd stop at Arby's. I'd go to Arby's. I'm going to hang out at every Arby's. We're going to find him wherever he might hang out.
I think where he might work at that, whatever the taco place we had last week where the meat was a little tough. I think that might be
below MRMRs.
I want to see if he works there.
Petting zoos, Arby's.
Oh, no. This is terrible.
Put his picture right there at every petting zoo and every Arby's.
I want to know what it doesn't say. If I were the editor and I saw this story, if someone put it across my desk and said, "Hey, boss, I'm doing a story on this horse banger," I'd say, "What kind of mask was he wearing?" Was it a
was it a horse mask?
Was it, or was it a COVID mask? Was it a clown mask?
He looked like Secretariat. He went and got the handsomest horse he could find.
I bet it was a horse mask. Like
Seattle Slew. Yeah, baby.
Like hoping that whoever was watching on the security camera would go, "Oh, that's just another horse in there."
Horse.
Man. Apparently keeps applying for jobs with the rodeo, and they say, no thanks, man. We don't want you here, buddy.
His rodeo clown gig is not what we expected. He chased that bull around for 15 minutes. That went on forever. That was a weird event.
I don't know why this guy keeps offering to change the horseshoes every day.
I've never seen that event before.
He's putting new horseshoes on them every day.
You know.
Yeah, a lot of grooming. The back of it's almost like, that meme where they talk about somebody's career who starts great and then falls off, and it's like a horse drawing and it's beautiful at the back and it turns into like a little kid drawing.
It goes the other direction.
The grooming on the back of the horse is great.
Spectacular.
But his his mane is matted. Like he looks like hell from the neck up.
But look at that tail.
Look at the tail, perfectly coiffed.
Oh, Cirillo Castillo arrested on charges of bestiality, criminal trespass in Hidalgo County. I can't wait to share a cell with that dude. The stories that this guy can tell.
That is a bad hombre. I think that's the best way to put it, right?
Yeah, that is
a bad hombre.
He's been mule kicked more than once.
Oh, man. In the Old West, they would have strung him up. I think. I don't think they settled for that nonsense back then. We damn sure can't settle for it now. All right. When we come back, we're going to take a look around Vegas, hit up the daily lines, wrap up the week on the Morning Huddle. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer, paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. What are you waiting for? We want to buy your car right now. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers across the United States put more money in their pocket by going to GiveMeTheVin.com. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give MVP's Pro Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not an MVP's Pro Rewards member? Join today.
Join the free smoothie party at Tropical Smoothie Cafe on June 21st for National Smoothie Day. We're treating our Tropic Rewards members to a free smoothie with bowl or food purchase. Order an app, online, or pop by the cafe for a little sip and chill. 3 cheers to our Tropic fam. Terms and conditions apply.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
No one knows the importance of a great assist more than Lowe's and Leo Messi. That's why we've teamed up to give My Lowe's Rewards members 10 times the points when Messi makes an assist during CONMEBOL Copa America USA 2024. Activate this offer starting June 20th, so when Messi assists, you score. Shop the day after an assist to earn those extra points. Not a My Lowe's Rewards member? Join for free today.
My weekend plans were already looking good, but now they're looking pretty epic thanks to the deals at Kohl's. I just saved on great summer essentials like shorts for my whole family at $16.99 and some cute dresses for 40% off. I also saved up to 85% off clearance after an extra 50% off. And with their Buy More, Save More offer, I saved $10 when I spent $50. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash. So take it from me. You need to get to Kohl's for epic deals ASAP. Select styles. Offers end June 23rd. Extra 50% off clearance valid through June 25th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hi, everybody. Scott Innes here. For 25 years, I've been voicing lovable cartoon dogs like Scooby-Doo, Astro. Hey, I love puppies and dogs. And now I get to help pets that need a voice to save their lives. That's where the Puppy Food Bank comes in. The Puppy Food Bank helps pet rescue organizations so they can feed puppies. For just $11 a month, you can save a pet's life. Go to puppyfoodbank.org now and donate, and they'll send you a nice gift. Puppy Food Bank is proudly supported by Thomas J. Henry.
Let's go! Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, we got to do a giveaway, man. We got missions tickets.
Tuesday? Our 2 for Tuesday?
Do I have a, let's see, I got to read here. Yeah. How about this? Caller 5. Get you some San Antonio's missions tickets for June 25th. Family 4-pack to see the missions out at Wolf Stadium. Take on the Midland Rockhounds on June 25th. AARP $2 Tuesday.
There we go.
Presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. $2 tickets, $2 domestic beer, sausage wraps, cheese pizza, or Rob's favorite, sweet tea.
Sweet tea, baby, for $2. You can't beat that.
Caller number 5, 210-656-3776. All right, Bubba. It's time.
Let's make some money.
Let's take our last look of the week at the Daily Lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the Daily Lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
How do we feel about Al Horford in a cowboy hat?
What's not to like?
It's just,
His daddy's from Houston. He's allowed.
It's not a look I was expecting.
No, probably not.
But I mean, he's pulling it off fine, I suppose. It's just
like making fun of the Mavericks. Is that kind of like an homage to him?
It could be.
It's Banner Day in Boston, by the way, as they celebrate with a march noticeably very early in the morning, so Celtic fan can't drink all day. We're going to get them out of there by about 10.
Remember when the Rockets social media guy got fired for putting he put a gun in a horse head and said it'll all be over soon?
Yes.
Oh, Celtic should have done that.
Well,
I guess they, we're going to get in trouble if we do it, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. The hockey is tonight. I made a mistake and thought it was yesterday. I was all pumped up, sitting in my couch, ready to watch it. Nope, it's tonight. Edmonton, a -120 favorite. Florida coming back at even money, +100. Total is 5.5. I think the market kind of disagrees with me. I played the under yesterday, and looks like there's some action to the over. Obviously, we've seen more high-scoring games lately in this series, but Game 6 and Game 7 in hockey playoffs it's like 63%, 62% to the under. I mean, it is just an ATM. So I'm going to be on the under. Might be famous last words, but I'm riding that trend today.
Evan Rodriguez, more than 1.5 shots on goal?
I would think so. What's the Bobrovsky saves number?
Let me get to saves here. I was just let's see. We got some combo work here. Skinner and Bobrovsky combo, 51.5 saves.
I like the over. I do think this is going to be a you know what? Actually, no, I don't, because I don't know there's going to be that many shots on goal.
That's what I was going to say. 51.5 shots on goal seems like a lot.
I talked about it a little bit yesterday. Like there's going to be, teams are going to be tight. They're not, like, a lot of the times in these high scoring matchups, you're just kind of, you're doing what they call throwing it into the area and trying to make something happen, like to put it in soccer terms. Like he puts it into the area and they're trying to, like, you just throw it at net and hope something happens. They're not going to do that here. Like, everything's going to be calculated. These teams are playing cautious. I think there's just not going to be that many shots taken. Let's take a look at Major League Baseball. The Texas Rangers are back in action, and they are big favorites. Although, this is maybe a surprisingly big favorite. Nathan Eovaldi going for the Rangers. Brady Singer going for the Royals. The Rangers are minus 155 favorites here at home. Brady Singer with a 3.39 ERA. The Royals 8 games over 500. The Rangers 6 games under 500. Feels a little like the two pitchers who are kind of close.
Yeah,
this
very
year.
close. I'll tell you why they're considered so close just by the odds. When you look at the over-under, your daily fantasy, Singer is at 4.5 strikeouts and Uvalde at 5.5. So they're both expected to give up, to throw a few strikes, but not.
Feels to me like the Royals are undervalued here at plus 130. As far as the Houston Astros, they have a rookie pitcher.
He's here.
They
big called him up, baby. He's in the show.
OMG, the number one pitching prospect for the Houston Astros. I'll be honest, I'd never heard of this guy before today.
As they put Verlander on the IL, Jake Bloss will make the start at the MMP. Bloss is the 3rd-round pick in 2023 through 6 1/3 no-hit innings Saturday. Owns a 1.63 ERA in 8 games at AA Corpus Christi with the Hooks.
Well, he's going up against Grayson Rodriguez, who actually was like a mega prospect, and he's pitched pretty well this season, 3.20 ERA. And the Orioles dog walked the Yankees yesterday. Oh my! I think it was 17-5, and that was Luis Gil was pitching for the Yankees. He's been their best pitcher all year. They lit his ass up. He was gone by the 2nd inning, 8 runs allowed, and they said that's enough, friend. You go have a seat.
Now, they do think they'll get Judge back. That turned out that wasn't a broken hand. They might play today.
Well, that's good news. But the Astros hosting the Orioles minus 163 on the road. Astros plus 137. Total of 8.5.
I like it, baby.
You like the over?
Over, baby.
I
Both
think
teams
so,
are
too.
hitting. I think there's going to be some runs scored.
If they scored 17 runs off of the best pitcher the Yankees
they get
have,
a load of our rookie pitch.
Yeah.
Wait till we get a load of this new guy.
I think there might be some runs scored in this one. 8.5, like I said, is the total. Any other good matchups in baseball? I don't know.
Nothing on the fantasy edge.
I think that Rangers matchup may be one of the best pitching matchups of the day. My guy George Kirby pitching for Seattle today. He's minus 163 at the Marlins, who are just dreadful. So maybe a decent play on them. And I guess if you expect the Yankees to bounce back, they are minus 106 against the Atlanta Braves. Chris Sale going for the Braves. Carlos Rodon going for the Yankees.
Sale,
total of 8 in that game. Chris Sale, 2.98 ERA. Back to some vintage form.
He's got some bats behind him itself.
Chris Sale. And let's see. Jack Flaherty on the hill for the Tigers. He have a 3.01 ERA. He's a minus 177 favorite against the lowly White Sox, plus 147, the return in Chicago. So I almost left off our guy. Shota.
Oh, Shota's on the mound.
Shota, a 120 first pitch. He's the matinee game against the New York Mets, who the Grimace streak was broken. They were unstoppable after Grimace threw out the first pitch. Better first pitch than 50 Cent, actually, and Baba Booey. So Baba Booey and 50 Cent both had disaster first pitches for the Mets. Grimace comes out, and they're like, this is starting to run here, baby.
Well, they did score 14 the other day.
They've got it figured out, but I don't think they score 14 against Shota Imanaga. 1.90 ERA. I'm minus 150. I think I'm liking me some Shota. today. I'll be on
brave man.
I'll be on
brave man.
Elsewhere in the world of sports, the WNBA, guess who's back on the court tonight? The Indiana Fever. 2.5-point road favorites at the Atlanta Dream. I've got no idea. They've won 3 games in a row. Are they going to keep winning?
I think the Dream kind of suck.
They're 6-7.
I think I might want to ride this wave while you get a chance.
Fever are 6-10 because, of course, they've played the most games. Elsewhere, the matchup of the night, I think. Boy, remember I said it's over for you bitches when Vegas gets healthy. Well, it might be over for these bitches because the Aces are not the ladies. I mean, for the league is what I mean, not the actual ladies themselves. I mean, I use bitches in like a catch-all way that doesn't describe women, just the league.
Ladies.
The Las Vegas Aces -5.5-point favorites hosting the Connecticut Sun.
That's a battle of the Titans going on.
13-1 Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, but point guard is back with Vegas.
They're back.
And that team, it literally changed the dynamic of that team. Suddenly they started to run. Suddenly ages open. The point guard matters. I like the Aces to reestablish themselves.
We might be late to the party, though. This opened at Aces -1.5.
Mm-hmm.
Now -5.5. A 4-point move. That's pretty significant. So I think the Aces get it done, but that's a lot of points against the best team in the league so far, the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, but they own
at 13-1. I'll give you one take on the UFC this weekend. There's a card actually pretty early tomorrow. I want to say it starts like 11 o'clock local tomorrow is when the card starts. But Ikram Aliskerov is taking on Robert Whittaker in the main event. And I like Ikram Aliskerov +135. Whittaker's -155 in this matchup. And Aliskerov's coming in on short notice, replacing Khamzat Chimaev, who had to withdraw with like a severe bout of food poisoning, apparently. But Aliskerov's not like coming in off the couch. He was supposed to fight last week, so he was already like kind of peaking for a fight. They said, nope, save it. We're going to give you a bigger fight. Aliskerov's lost one fight in his career, and that was to Khamzat Chimaev. And it feels kind of like these are ships passing in the night. Like Robert Whittaker, his chin started to show a little bit. He got knocked out by Dricus du Plessis recently. And Aliskerov looks like he's getting better and better. So I'm going to take the up arrow guy over the down arrow guy with some plus money. So Ikram Aliskerov +135. I kind of like
daily fantasy any of these MMA fights.
I've not.
Because I'm looking
daily
at it
fantasy
right now.
was illegal, or it's not. I say illegal. It's not available in Nevada.
Explain to me what's the difference between a significant strike and a strike?
Significant strikes it's a silly calculation, but they like if you reach out and jab someone, they don't consider that a significant strike. It's got to be like
a point, but not a point. I got you. So like if I was to bet Renat
Fakhretdinov
at 56.5 significant strikes, more or less, which would you just at the top of your mind? This is a tough, more or less.
I think that's a fight that goes a long way. And I think when you do over under on strikes, you need to hope that it's going to be a long fight. Right. So that's a fight I picture him and Nicholas Dalby going to the decision. So I would probably lean to the over there.
That's why you listen to shows like this.
There you go. And guess what? You don't have to listen to it for 2 days. We'll be back on Monday. Probably have a Stanley Cup champion crowned by then.
We better.
I would hope. The Joe Reinagel Show coming up at 2. Been real, boys. Have a good weekend. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.